Right, good morning. This is part two of the A10C for beginners. So the first part of it is going to be going through the startup again, and then we'll pick up from there. Right, are you ready to go through the startup again?
I am ready, yes.
Okay. Oh, I know what I haven't done.
Trying flying said, are you nearly there yet?
Hey, Platty, you're right. Good morning. This is part two of where am I get audio? A10C. I've just got feedback from somewhere. To be going through the stuff. Right. Okay. So on the right knee, you've got the battery power. And we're going to flip that switch forward. Middle of the row, the inverter. Yeah, no worries, matey. And then we're going to go straight from there over to the APU, which is just over to the left of the big yellow handles. And we're going to switch that APU start on, okay? When you put the APU start on, you have to check the bottom two gauges on the dash. That's the APU power, which is the bottom one on the left. And then the bottom very right is the APU exhaust gas temperature. Once the power's gone up to 100%, you can switch the APU generator power on, which is at the right knee, to the left, top left of those switches. You got it?
Yeah. I'm ready to go now.
Okay, so down by the right butt cheek, you remember this. 5 knobs like a figure of 5. See how consistent my explanation is. 5 knobs like a figure of 5 on a dice, and there's a little toggle switch to the top left, and that one goes forward. Your lights should be on now. No, they shouldn't, sorry. They won't be on now until you press left control P. And then they'll start to flash on your wings. You got that far? Are your lights on?
Yep.
Sorry, I didn't hear anything then. Okay, what we're going to do now is actually do the proper procedure, which we're going to put the radios on. So the radios are on your left thigh, just behind the throttle is the first one. And the left hand knob, we're going to turn it up 1 notch. Below that, we've got the left hand knob on the mid radio, we're going to turn that up 1 notch. And then the radio at the bottom, we're going to turn the right knob up 1 notch. We're going to check what the frequency is for this airbase. And an easy way of doing that is with the F10. And you can see on here, it's the second one we want, which is 122. So if you can change the radio, the one with the green writing on, to 122. Right, you don't have to do anything. So when you're flying with multiples, the lead has to ask the A10C for permission.
What is this witchcraft?
Did you know who's the second person on my channel then who's commented? What did I say before I started?
Camel.
Yes. I says, Camel will be on you in a minute, going, what are you doing on now? Hey matey, how are you? Right, so I'm going to call the radio. Now, normally you wouldn't need to tune in and you don't do the calls, alright? I would do it. So we got to wait, but you can hear.
Thing finally slowed down at work.
Oh, excellent. Well, I hope it's excellent. So we've gone into the ATC for this location and I'm requesting the startup. Okay, So they're giving us permission to start up. If you notice, ATC now is sitting at request taxi to runway. Right, so we've got the APU generator on. Okay, we've got the lights on. What we're going to do now, before we actually start up, is go to the right thigh and switch the two switches just underneath the CDU, which is the keyboard you'll see on the right hand side and screen. They're going forward. That's the CDU, or central data unit, and the EGI, which is the embedded GPS inertial navigation system. Okay. Okay, we're going to switch the two screens on, called MFCDs in the A10C. We're going to put them today. You have to say you've done them, otherwise I'll be waiting. At the bottom of the left screen, all the way down, we've got CICU, which goes up one notch. We've got the JTRS, which goes up one notch. And then we've also got the IFC, which goes up one notch to test. And then we're going to hit the enter on the upfront controller to start the bit. Once that's done, we're going to start the left engine only. Okay, so the left engine only, we'll lift it up if you've got a liftable uppery thing, and you'll see on the right knee on the alarm panel engine start cycle, and the left column of dials will start to rotate. If you haven't got an uppity thing, then I believe it's right shift and home for the left engine, or is it right alt and home?
Pull up.
I don't know.
You've got an up thing. Okay, no worries. So you should hear some alerts. You'll also see the master caution flashing, and that flashes because the AC generators are already on by default now. That throws an error with the APU generator, which throws a master caution. Okay, nothing to be alarmed at. So when it does that, just push the master caution on the upfront controller. And then if you look in the hood, you'll see it says exit. Should have a caret pointing to the exit, or a greater than sign. So hit enter on the upfront controller, and then use the select rocker switch to the right to move the caret down to the exit, and then press enter again. Let me know when you're at that menu. Something's not clear, let me know. Yeah, that's fine. So if you notice, it should say menu at the top. So what we're going to do is move the seat down with the left diagonal until we can actually see the main menu words. If you're not sure, just check in mine. The seat adjustment is the little tab button, which is to the right of the black and yellow emergency brake. Let me know when you're at that stage. Okay, and now on the bottom row of the left hand MFCD, move the IFC up another notch, and you should now have a hood. Excellent. Okay, and you should find your ribbon is quite close to the bottom, or just not visible at the bottom, and you should see a circle at the top. Is that correct?
Yep.
Excellent. Okay, if you look down at your right knee, you'll see the light has gone off now for the engine start. So now we can start the right engine. Again, lift it up, move it forward into idle, which I believe is right control and home. If anyone's got any questions, guys, don't worry, please feel free, jump in. This is the second bit of training to do with the A10C. If you've got any questions or anything like that, please ask. Okay, right, so on the right hand MFCD, select CDU, and you'll see it's already flashing ins nav ready and T equals 4008. Is that correct?
D_Camel says, oh, I have lots of questions.
Oh, I imagine you do. Did you ever listen to your voice through your mic and see what you thought? I'll have to record it sometime when we got more time. Okay, so even though it's taken 4 minutes, right, to actually align, just going through that process, when I'm explaining it, by the time we get to this point, it's already done. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. You could put a better codec on maybe. Right, so now you're going to hit the nav button, or the button next to nav on the right hand side. Okay. Look just behind the joystick, and we're going to choose EGI instead of HARS, and we're going to choose steer point instead of TCN.
No, my Dwissa was too aggressive.
Oh, is that what it was? Okay. Right, on the left hand screen, we're going to hit the load all, and that's going to take, I don't know, 20-30 seconds, and all those little diddlies will come back. However, while that's happening, we're going to look down, and can you see the your SAS pitch toggles just to the left of the cockpit, just in front of the throttles? If you're not sure, look at my screen. I'm showing them now.
I think your SAS and pitch SAS.
Yeah, pitch SAS, not bitch SAS. Okay, so if you switch those on, and then just behind the throttle on the lower left, you've got EAC. That needs to go forward. And by default now, the radar altimeter should be forward. Okay, this should leave us with 3 lights. So we've got anti-skid, seat not armed, and APU gen lights on the alarms. Okay, so the anti-skid is diagonally down from top right to bottom left of the left screen. As you go down, hey, Mr. Camel, you should see the anti-skid. Just a minute, mate. I'm going to have to turn that up. It's alright, I balanced it earlier for What's Its voice. Sorry, go on, Camel.
I don't want to derail your training. I just want to know if this sounds better than it did the other day.
Much better. Much, much better.
Yeah, it was the DS. It was just pulling too much out of my voice.
Yeah, it was completely lopping the top off. It's a good job I told you, isn't it?
Well, I actually heard it on another stream when I was in stream together with a guy. I listened to my voice on his stream. I was like, "Ooh, this sounds terrible."
And did you think, yeah, Mel was right what he said?
I thought, yeah, he was averagely right.
Averagely right. I told you, it was just woolly, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was taking too much out of the top and allowing too much through on the bottom.
Yeah, that sounds about right. It was just too much, but it sounds fine in TeamSpeak now. Do you think so as well, Wiz?
Yeah.
There you go.
All
right, matey. No worries. Is it your night time at the moment?
Yeah, it's not late though. It's like 8:15, but I'm gonna jump into some Star Citizen here pretty soon.
All right, matey. No worries. Have fun.
All right, bye.
Right, see ya. That was a microphone de-essing check. All the way from New Zealand. No, that's much better. Right, okay, where were we?
We just toggled on anti-skid, and we're now left with APU gen and seat not armed.
There you go, excellent. Right, On the dashboard, you can see the red flag on the standby attitude indicator just under the lower right of the left MFCD.
Yep.
And then we've got seat not armed and APU gen. So both engines are up and they're working fine. So we don't need the APU. So on the left hand thigh, we can switch the APU start off. And on the right knee, we can switch the APU generator off. Okay, on the left hand MFCD, we want to select TAD. On the right hand MFCD, for now, we'll select CDU. Okay, right, so this looks a little bit bright to me, the background does. So it's the toggle at the top left should drop the map down a bit, allegedly. Doesn't seem to do a lot. Right, now looking at the left hand MFCD, what can you tell me about it at this point in time?
It's, I don't know, it's set to what, 125k distance?
Okay.
It's not soy.
It's not soy. What else? Can you say anything else? If you make it soy and then zoom out a little bit, what have we got left to do? Any ideas?
Is it to change it to manual so it doesn't go black when there's nothing?
No. It's alright. It's not complicated. Just see what you see. No, we don't change this to manual when we got a map. And you only change it to manual if you can't fly with black, because some people need a rough idea of where they are. Do you know what I mean? Right, okay. If you look, the waypoints aren't connected.
Oh yeah, I remember that bit, sort of.
That's alright. Yeah, well, I don't expect you to remember everything. It's just because you fly it anyway a little bit. It's just the startup and some of the other niceties you don't know. So yeah, so what we need to do is select the flight plan. Yeah, network's another one. We also need to do the data link, which we'll do right at the end. Right, what else can you identify for me on the screen? If you're not sure on your screen, look at mine. And
Bullseye.
yeah, okay, we got the bullseye. We can see where that is. What else?
No.
Any ideas?
The waypoints not being.
Okay, the waypoints aren't there. What other things can you identify on there?
Like my plane and the wedding cake is
6 years
0.
and that's all I've learned.
Yeah. That was good. That was good, Plateau. The wedding cake. We can see the... what's the wedding cake called?
It's no, something of interest.
Yeah, it was close. It's the SPI.
Yeah.
Sensor point of interest.
Yeah.
Okay, what else can we see? We know we can see the bullseye. We can see our own plane. We can see the white wedding cake just about. I'm going to move it. Okay, to make it easier to see. So, oh, shit, mate. There we go. So I've moved it to make it easier to see. Right, so what else is there we can see? If you look at mine, or do a Kuliat up short and a DMS up short. I.e. select the hood as soy and move the waypoint to the next one. So what else is that showing me? If you don't know, it's not a problem. This is the second time I've gone through this with you, and it was 2 weeks ago. So the point being is, by the 6th or 7th time, you'll be able to rattle it off. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I don't know.
That's okay. So, what are the green boxes?
Waypoints.
Right. Okay. What is the yellow box?
The selected waypoint.
The steer point.
Okay.
Think of it as the steer point rather than selected waypoint. Yes, they are fundamentally the same, but that's the steer point. And we can see the SPI, and the SPI at this moment moves with the waypoints as we select it. Okay.
Yeah.
What else can we tell from the TAD? What is it useful for? What can we tell from just looking at it? If you're not sure, just say, I don't know, sir. Please, sir.
Okay, sir.
Please, sir, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Apart from the distances.
Yeah, we got the distances, so we know the outer ring is 80 miles, the inner's 40. In between the two, it's 60, and in between where we are and the 40, it's 20. We've also got the compass points, because it's really easy to miss the compass points and forget that that's where they are, so you can tell where you are. One of the problems that people do a lot, especially on this map, is think up is north, because that's the way we're pointing, whereas you can see on the map that north is actually right, and the coast runs east-west. Do you see what I mean? Okay, so what? So this. That's fair enough. What we're going to do now is look at the right thigh, and just underneath the CDU, we've got the rotaries. So we've got the steer point, and we've also got the page. Okay. So before we do that, we're going to click on the FPM button just under the screen, or flight plan menu, and we're just going to, as you said earlier, change it from auto to manual so that the waypoint doesn't automatically switch to the next one. And then we're going to choose on the steer point rotary flight plan, which will filter out everything else in the CDU except the selected flight plan. Can you imagine if you're reading this startup? It just is so confusing. Do you know what I mean? Okay, you've done that. Steer points left. And then we're going to select the CDU page as being our steer point. Notice the word steer point as distinct from waypoint. So we're going to turn that to the 12 o'clock position. Okay, so we should see on the right hand screen now the steer point. So we need some weapons.
Info,
yeah, that's the steer info. That's the steer point information. Okay. Currently, right, depending on where you're set, it will say init posit, which is the initial position, or waypoint 0, which is where your aircraft aligned. Right, we want some weapons. Can you remember the weapons we had on last week?
We had 6 NAV 65
Ds, yeah.
Now, what was the short key bind to get that thing open?
It's a left alt and apostrophe. Has that worked? Yeah, you got it up.
I'm looking for
Apostrophe is the one usually next to the return key. Sometimes with a @ on it, depending whether you've got English or American keyboard. Okay, so it's 2 AIM-9s on the station number 11. It's the targeting pod on station number 10. which
Yeah.
is the one, and then you've got 3 AGM 65Ds on 9,
Yep.
3 65Ds on 3,
Yep.
and you've got the ECS or the ALQ 184 ECM even on number 1. Now, when you've got that, you could copy and then rename it to MAV65D, and then that way you can just select it off the list. Okay, move the fuel back up to 100 at the top, and when you're happy with that, say OK, and make sure you get a copy back on refueling and weapons.
Request refueling. Request refueling. Copy.
Okay,
Copy, yeah.
right. So we're just going to let that refuel and rearm. And then there's a couple more things we need to do. So today, once we get going, what we're going to do, if you remember the end of the last session, I rippled off some Mavericks, yeah?
Yep.
And you fired a couple of Mavericks at some targets, which you can do anyway, okay? So what I'm going to do, we'll take off, and you're going to ripple some Mavericks off at the targets. So we'll probably need to assign a button. Then we'll go through the process without firing the Mavericks.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'll do the same run and then fire the Mavericks, okay?
Okay.
And then once you've done, and we'll see how many you can hit, how many you can fire off, and we'll also see how many things you actually hit. When I did this with a guy years ago, he managed to blow a lamppost up a couple of times, which was quite neat. Then we're going to come back and land, and we're going to take a couple of 65Hs, and then you're going to learn something new with those, and we'll see what space we got, and we'll take some CBU 97s and some CBU 105s. Okay?
Yep.
And then after that, I'll leave it there. And then the next week, we'll look at how we can make the CBUs more effective using wind correction with last. I know it sounds complex, but when you understand how it works, you realise how good it actually is. Whether anyone ever bothers to use it or not is neither here nor there. It's just such a good feature. Right, while I've been talking, then it should have all finished, and you should have flashing in the bottom of your hood a message just saying note and 2 white flags on your screens. Can you see that?
Yep.
Okay, can you explain to me what they are?
It means that when we've rearmed, refueled, the plane doesn't know what weapons we've got on it, and it needs to be set through the DMS page.
Excellent. So that's something I think Spatey would have gone through when you did a rearm resupply. Is that
Yes.
correct? I thought so. Right. So I knew it because the way you rattled that off, there's no way you remembered that off from last time. Okay. So acknowledge the issue. And do you want me to walk you through it, or are you going to do it yourself?
I can do it. Yeah.
Okay. So what we've got to do basically is change this by holding it to a load button. Move the load button over to the MAV button, hit the load, hit the dismiss, wait a few seconds, and you'll see the dismiss is now correctly identifying what the weapons are. We're going to hit the load button and hold it and put the math button back. Okay? And then when we look at the dismiss, everything's right and we've got our math button. Okay, tell me when that's done.
All done.
Okay, right, so we need to get rid of the ground chocks in a minute actually. Now we've got countermeasures or electronic countermeasures on and we're about to take off. Have you shut your canopy?
No, you didn't tell me to.
Neither have I. It's
Last week.
the reason why mine's open is because I've got hardly any audio from this end, so I can't hear anything. But yeah, shut your canopy. Usually you would do it when you're starting the APU up and the engines because it'll cut down on the noise. I have seen people take off with it sort of sticking up. Right, so what do we need to switch on? Do you remember? Before we do anything else?
What do we need to switch on? We need to switch those 5 switches on, don't we? Those are the countermeasures. And
That's one thing.
turn it on to semi?
No,
Manual first, but it
no,
does go to semi?
no. No, it shouldn't do. It should never go to semi-relay. Right, look on your right thigh. Look to where the bottom of the CDU is and slide along to the right. And just as you get onto the other panel, you see a Lego brick stuck on the end of a toggle switch. Switch your pitot heater on.
And that.
Okay, so the ECM, we're going to switch it on standby and then do the 5 switches up. Now the fuel, right, there's a big knob just above the ECM on the main dash. Can you see it at the front right corner? You've got, right, we're going to turn that round to the left and that's where you'll see your fuel. Can you see? £11,000. Now what I don't want is you to be sort of saying, Dad, I've got to go. I've only got, 1,000 fuel in. And I'm sitting here with like 5,000 fuel in. Do you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So be a little bit more economical. Okay. We're going to remove the chocks. Do you remember how to do that? Oh, wrong button.
Yep.
So if we remove the chocks,
Remove the wheel chocks.
sorry, I was just coughing. Okay. Now what we're going to do is ask, or I will ask. Oh, I know what I haven't done. Do you remember what I haven't done? How about the data link?
Oh yeah.
It's-
Number 94.
Yeah, it's called Saddle, remember? So on the left screen, make it soy, and then you should see net on the lower right. Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay, so select net and then go and select 33 for the group and whatever number I gave you last week. Right, while I'm waiting, I'm going to start the mission, which is easy. And, other. Come on, you idiot. There we go. And we're going to do easy 101. Okay, wait for the mission briefing.
D94.
Okay, you should see you've changed colour and I've changed colour.
Northbound on the highway to their outpost on the northern outskirts of Houston.
On the Tadwee bluey colour.
Take out the convoy first, then
Let's see
sequence
green.
to the outpost.
You're still green.
Hmm.
So can you see a blue circle?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Between the yellow.
Yeah, that's me.
That's
Okay.
the yellow.
Right, okay, so what we're going to do now is ask ATC, or I will, if we can take off. Pay attention to what it says.
Krasnodar, log 1. Request taxi to runway.
Okay, so that's how we know where we're going. Over on the left hand side now, on the diagonal of the left hand screen, we're going to move the landing lights to taxi. We're going to switch on the nose wheel steering, and I'm going to slowly move forward and make sure you're in a straight line. Okay, with you, wait till I've just passed you.
Yeah. Are we not doing what we did last week, where we took the altitude of the airport?
Yeah, it doesn't come yet.
Okay.
Okay, so when you come out, make sure you go straight, and as I said earlier, make sure that you are just over the halfway mark across here. You can see now from my position, if you look at the screen, there's a slight... How long's the delay? Is it long?
It's a few seconds. from
Okay.
what I remember.
Can you see where your wings are now? In the...
Your wings.
your wings. On the little screen of my stream.
Yeah.
Can you see where your wings are, yeah? How close they
Yeah.
are to the edges. So this is why you have to be careful, okay? So I'm just going past you now. I'll do a call. 3301, taxiing to runway 27 Krasnodar Central. And then I'm going to stop just before I hit the taxiway. That's you, by the way, Hog 2. Okay. Checking, make sure nobody's here. And then when we come up towards the runway, we're going to hold short and change our lights. Three 3301 holding short, runway 27 or 27 Krasnodar Central. There's this snail running by the side of you. It's just overtaken you.
Has it?
Yeah, it's amazing. Oh, there's a tortoise as well.
Yeah.
You're all right, matey.
Actually harder to keep it slow than it is to go fast. So
It is, isn't it? You just have to be so careful. Okay, then get into position behind me. Do you remember the mark you're looking for, approximately?
Yeah, on 10.
Yeah, about -10. I think it's about 10. And that should put you just behind me, yeah? But not too close.
D_Camel said,
Hey.
firewall with rockers, then ask now if it's too soon.
Okay. So what we're going to do now is just change our lights. So looking down at the 5 knobs on the lower right panel, again by your butt cheek, We're going to move the position flash back to steady and pop on the anti-collision. Why is my anti-collision not going on? Let's do that. I know why. There we go. Okay. So now you should have little white flashy lights and coloured stable lights, which you've got. And we should also now put our seat ejection on. And I'll do a call. 3301 to ship taking active to 7 Krasnodar Central. It's very rare for you to hear me do calls. Okay, and then once we're on the runway, do you remember where you got to go?
I think so. I think to do with your tail wings in the... Yeah, that's about as much as I remember. Where they've got to go, I don't remember.
Hang on, there's your QFE. See, 2982. So this is where you change your QFE to 2982. And that will give you a 0 reference point, or a point for the height reference in here, depending on the atmospheric pressure. So keep going forward, look at the tail, the trailing edge of my fins, so that they are over your left shoulder. Alright, so you're back a bit at the moment. Now just 2982, and we must remember to change it when we're flying. So pull forward, look directly 90 degrees over your left shoulder, look at my tail and look for the trailing edge, and you want 1. You're going too far. Oh, is that spot on, or are you going too far? Okay, if you're happy with that. And then normally we can squeeze the 4 planes on, okay? Right. So it's no alarms. Right, what we're going to do, put the brakes on full. I'm going to hold, and then I'm going to push the throttles up until they're 80% on the RPM. And then I'm going to let go. I'm going to let go of my brakes and say 1 rolling. Right? And then you're going to say 2 rolling about 3 seconds after me. Okay?
Yep.
Right, so run the engines up. Okay, check the alarms. 1 in the green.
In the green.
Okay, I'm going to go full throttle. Brakes, brakes, brakes. 1 rolling.
You rolling?
Don't forget to take your nose wheel steering off when you're at 70. And then start a rotation about 130.
Well now. Good to see you, streamer.
Oh, sorry, I missed what your name was then. Just 1 moment. Should take off somewhere between 150 and 160. As soon as we're up in the air, there's a bit of a kick of wind, I think. So I'm trying to stay as right as I can. I am going to, at some point, let's have a look where you are. Okay, I'm going to start a turn right and holding it at about 50. You can see what the wind is like. So I'm turning across, you chain left. I'm doing a nice easy turn, relatively speaking. Except I've lost the lines on my hood. Oh man, that's not good, is it? Whoever put the wind like this? There it is.
Yeah, that sure did kick when it got up.
Yeah, it just dropped there. It was a bit up and down for me there. That's better, I can see him again now. Yeah, it's pushing you left, isn't it? To the right even, and your hood is off. Unlike the F-18, you can't make the hood you can't sort of lock the hood in place like you can on the F18.
Yeah.
So I'm going to roll out now and make sure I've got waypoint 1 selected, still on a 5-degree climb. I think I've overturned a little bit. I'm going to turn slightly left. And whereabouts are you at this point?
Just behind you.
Okay. Right, I'm going to just level off, right, and slow down and wait for you to catch up. If you remember what we were doing last week.
I do.
Ding. Right. Hey, that looks better than last week, yeah? So if you can sort of, don't worry about coming in on formation at the moment. Change your altimeter to 2992. Now we're back in the air, okay? And I've slowed down a bit, by the way, so you should be able to catch up whatever you are. I've lost you.
Right behind you. But below.
Okay, so I'm flying level. And I'll slow down so that you can catch up.
I wouldn't slow down.
No, I'm gonna, mate. It's up to you. Did tell you I'd slow down a bit. I need you to catch up and sit on my left-hand wing.
Lost you now.
I'm probably above you, so yeah, that's my shadow.
I think you're only climbing.
I'm below you. Oh right, you went racing up, did you? I see you.
I was going down. Yeah, well, kind of at the same level. Let's just do that.
Okay. Right. Can you get in nice and close? And then once you're nice and close, we can go buster, can't we? I'll push it up to just about 250 for now. Sorry, who was that? Hey, oh hello, Pistol. Yeah, this is the every other Wednesday. Well, I'll say that. Oh, you know what? I was just going to say Lisa's back Tuesday, but she's still off. So
Yeah.
we could do it next week, but there's one problem. I think I've got ambulatory care on my leg next week. Let me just check my calendar. Hang on. Just use this time to get into position.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Ah. You there?
Yeah.
No, you're not. Get into position. I showed you how to do it last week, yeah? I showed you what to look for. I'm going at the same speed-ish. I want you nice in and snugly. Your control's certainly a lot better, isn't it? You just should ease forward. You know, forward and back. And forward and back. You are moving a little bit quick. So, yeah, you get in there. Just don't rush it. And then just keep moving in. Let's pause What's that? There is quite a bit of wind, okay, as we can tell. You got a sweaty joystick yet?
No, I'm just...
You're not trying hard enough. Come on, coming close now. No, it's much better. It's much better, believe me. And it wasn't last week, it was 2 weeks ago. So push forward until I'm sort of right in your face, but not to the point that we crash. Hopefully, but if we do, we do. Don't get put off by that. So, remember what I said, to move forward, you push your throttles forward and then back, and forward and back, slowly, until you start to catch up, because at the moment you're not moving forward because you've slowed down a little bit too much, because you were probably moving a bit too quick earlier. So you're gently nudging in and positioning. Anyhow, if anyone's got any questions, please feel free to ask. You can jump in, you're not interrupting. It is quite windy, and I have the ability to be on autopilot, whereas when you're trying to fly in the wing, you can't. Okay, just you come in there, try and watch your speed. I think you're going a little bit quick perhaps. And there you, are you taking a avoiding, or is it just bubbly?
Am I taking a what?
Are you taking avoiding, or is it just a bit bubbly? Yeah, just a bit quick, I thought so. Okay, I'm down underneath you. So all you got to do is just slow down, right, and then just wait, and then you get visibility again. The thing is, you have to be able to do it so that you can do tanking at some point. As much as these things will stay in the air for a long time, they won't stay in the air forever. Right, we need to increase our height. So increase it up to around about 9,500, 10,000 when you're ready. I was waiting till you was going to be on my wing, but I didn't want to stream for 10 hours today. I am winding you up. So just go full power. Climb up to about 5 degrees. You got enough clearance there. You should be able to just put it in auto. Auto should be on path mode. Path mode is basically you can set it to climb or descend and it'll just go. You don't want to climb much more than 5. If your speed is dropping too much, then you need to level out. If we look here, by the way, this is our minimum speed at this height, this is our max, and this is our actual speed. Are your taxi lights on? Sorry, are your taxi lights on?
I don't know, but the switch is down.
The switch is down, okay. Well, if you look at the front of your plane, I nearly said helicopter, the wheels have gone, so it doesn't matter, does it? We just have to turn them on when coming into land.
Okay.
Then they turn into landing lights. Okay, so what we're going to do now is What height you at?
7,003.
Okay. Keep climbing, but you might, if you, as you notice, your speed's gone down a bit. So drop the climb rate to about 2.5. You should find your...
said, I've heard that modern stealth aircraft use a noise maker when over friendly territory, so friendly radar can see them.
I don't know. I'm not aware of it, unfortunately, Brickboy. One of the things is, despite the fact I know my way around a few planes, helicopters and things, I do not have a clue about anything in terms of aircraft. I actually have very little interest. I know, to me it's just a game, do you know what I mean? And I'm happy to teach others, but outside it's not a great passion. I do like to look at some of the things that we have in DCS to see how similar they are, to be fair. But I wouldn't know specifics. Right. Yeah, morning, Hayden.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good morning, mate.
Good morning. So I'm just crossing through 9,000. I'll get up to about 10. And then we'll hang a right. Right, okay, so I'll stop at 10.5. And I'm going to hang a right and put it into path mode and orbit. Okay, and if you can... Why is that not going? Sorry, it's supposed to be altitude mode and orbit. Why is that not? That's better. Okay, so orbit round, and I'll just go over a couple of things. First of all, we need to fence in. So switch on your master arm, your laser arm, your TGP. Don't forget that when you switch your gun pack, your nose will drop. So balance that out. And back off your speed a bit, because you don't need to go full tilt round in a circle. Let's change this a little bit more. Why is this not going in? I'm pushing this button to go into what's it mode? It's just not doing it. Can you hear me? Push it. I think my button's playing up a little bit here. Because it's either that or something's crept into the plane I'm not aware of. It's really weird, that. And that's too steep. Right. That's better. Okay. I think one of my toggles isn't doing what it's supposed to. I'm at 10.02 at the moment. What height are you at?
10.06.50.
Okay. So when you're fencing in, don't forget, right, put on the master arm, gun pack, laser, TGP. Put your countermeasures on to man. Switch off your flashing lights with the pinky switch. I think we found the button last week for that. And call out fuel, which is 3301 fenced in, fuel 9.5. Okay?
The fuel is 9.6.
Okay. If you look at your TGP on the right hand side and you select TGP, you should see it's either aligning or it's in standby. Okay, so select AG and then make it side. Right, okay, so last week you fired a Maverick or two, which you can do anyway. and you fire a Maverick, you use the speed to set the where you're going to fire the Maverick, yeah? And we talked about trying to get it into the middle of the vehicle on the floor, so as if you're sticking it on the floor plane in the middle of the vehicle. That way round, if you are orbiting a vehicle or moving, then the target is going to be in the same place every single time. Also mentioned about if you point at the top of something such as the tower, by the time you've changed position, that target is now not on the tower, it's somewhere else. Do you remember? Okay. So I finished off by firing multiple Mavericks in a single pass. Excuse me. And one of the things I said is, when you're learning, always give yourself plenty of room. So you want to extend out to about 20 miles away, right, at least. Turn round, and then looking at your TAD, choose your targets, and then, right, as you come in, fire all the Mavericks. Now, the way we do that is by putting a mark point on each of the targets we want. We also will switch to mark points as our steer point, and the SPI or wedding cake will be locked onto the mark points, usually by default. And then what we're going to do is use one of the next waypoint buttons, which I'll explain to you which one it is. Switch the mark to the next mark point, right? Tell the Maverick to lock to that mark point, TMS up and fire it. So it's switch the waypoint, it's align the Maverick to the SPI, TMS up short, and when you can fire, and then move to the next one, the next one, the next one, the next one. So you should be able to get all 6 off, okay? So the button you want, and you want to give yourself a button that is quite close. I use a throttle, and it's called AAP Steer Switch Up. Now, I'm not bothered about it coming back down again, because you're only going to have so many mark points. Once it gets to the end, it'll go around and start again. The trick is you have a button that you press, you force the Maverick to the target, you fire the Maverick, you press the button, you force the Maverick, you fire the Maverick. Do you get my gist? So you're doing those 3 little steps as you go along. So make sure you've got a button on your throttle that will still allow you to reach, right, the other buttons if you can, apart from the fire, which you'll do with your right hand. So have you set a button for AAP Steer Switch Up?
It's a steer point thing, right?
It's called, yeah.
White switch between.
It's the what?
It's the little white switch, right, between the flight plan and steer point knobs.
Where are you looking?
Right, thigh.
Yeah.
Flight plan knob and steer point knob, and in between that there's a little white switch for steer.
Yeah. Sorry, a toggle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay. Then I have that set.
You do. Excellent. Right, so now what you've got to do is find the targets, right?
What steer point are they on? 1?
Round about 1. Notice that steer point 1 is in the air.
I remember that last week.
Okay, so have a look for the targets using your TGP, and if you can't find them, what I'll do is I'll find them and then broadcast my SPI, okay? Which we never got round to last week, if you remember. Now, I know where they are anyway, right? So I'm going to just go and find them. Come on, stop jiggling around. There we go. And when I switch to this, yeah, just see if you can find them. And push everything over there.
Yeah, I'm just looking at my wing at the moment. I think I need to...
Make that soy. Let's make it white hot. Make it white hot with the boat switch. And there they are. Okay. So there you'll see. That's the convoy. Here's the main target area. So what I'll do is I'll just move this down the road a little bit. I'm going to push my SPI there. SPI I'm going to do by TMS up along. And then I'm going to broadcast my SPI, which if I remember right, which has been a while, let's go back to TAD. SPI is on. Right, if you look, while you've been doing that, if you look at your TAD, can you see a blue line coming from my plane to a little white wedding cake? Now,
yeah.
At the moment, your TAD is possibly still in the normal mode. So make your TAD soy. And then use the China hat forward once to put it into the other mode, which is EXP1. So make sure you TAD soy.
Yeah, done that.
And then, right, what you want to do is China hat forward once, and it'll say EXP1, and now you've just got a map on your screen that you can move around with your cursor.
Yeah.
And then I want you to zoom in, and zoom in to where my SPI is, as close as you can get it. And my SPI, right, your SPI is a 3-layer wedding cake. My SPI is a 2-layer wedding cake. And you've also got a blue line coming from, right, my plane to my SPI. You can see that, yeah?
Yeah.
That's called a SPI broadcast. So now you put your cursor right in the middle of my SPI. Put the dot on the dot if you can. And when you've done that, you do a TMS right short, and that creates mark point A. And then you declare SPI captured, and then I'll switch it off.
How do I declare? Is it just like
You tell me.
Okay.
Yeah. So once you've got your mark point, right?
Yes.
And then you tell me that your SPI's captured.
Correct.
I'll take mine off.
Okay.
Okay.
Captured.
Now, you should find that the target's around there. That's the road, and the convoy's on its way. So what I want you to do now is, can you do TMS left long for me? Because then that will show everybody else what I've just done for you. When you do TMS left long, if you look on your TAD, you'll see on the top right it says SPI on, and I can see at this point, there you go, excellent. Right, now what you've just done there, that's not where my SPI was.
No, I haven't moved to it yet. You didn't tell me to.
I did. I told you to put your cursor in the TAD on my SPI.
Point A, but I haven't changed to mark points, and I haven't.
Oh, that's fine. Okay, stop broadcasting, but we get the gist. Switch it off, which is that's it. I'll broadcast mine again. Okay. Yeah, that's what I said. Use your cursor. Put the dot on.
Yeah, I have I'm exactly where I need to be. I just need to slew to it and mark it.
Hang on. No. Hang on, no. What you need to do, is put the cross on your TAD in the centre of my SPI.
Yeah, it's now mark point A.
Right, and then you do a TMS right short. I thought I'd ask you. I said, when you've done that, let me know and say SPI captured. Because the SPI captured is when you've actually put your mark point there, so you don't need me to do it anymore.
I have to mark point A.
Right.
I just haven't changed to mark point A.
Right. Okay. Sorry, yes. So you've got to go function mark.
Yes.
I do apologise, I understand. I do apologise.
That's alright.
Bear in mind I can't see you, so it's just on comms. Morning, Yam.
I've now changed to mark points and I'm gonna...
Right, now broadcast your SPI for us.
Okay.
And your SPI is right on top of mine, yeah, which is what we wanted. Right, so that's the road, and now you can see that all those trucks are there. Okay? Can you see on your TGP?
Not yet.
Right, because of where you are. Well, this helps to show you where you are relative to the trucks. So I've got them right off my 7 o'clock. So I'm going to adjust my orbit. And as I said the other week, the only reason we can orbit like this is because these are fairly inert. If this was something a little bit more precarious, you would do the orbiting miles away or find your targets miles away before you got there, okay? So what I'm going to do is look. Now there's something else I didn't do with you last week, and this is because my A10C is relatively old school. You've probably already done it without me saying anything. So let's just pop there. Right, can you see the trucks?
No, not yet. I'm having trouble with masking right now.
Okay, so knock it out of auto.
Yes, I'm doing that.
And then just wing it round a bit and keep an eye on the dot, right, and the pointer in your hood. And what you want to do is once you get them round about the 3 o'clock, do a lazy turn.
Okay, I see the line of trucks now.
Okay, right, something that was introduced to the A10 some time ago, and I always forget to use it because I did it old school when it didn't exist. So fly level or put your curve on, whatever, and tell me when you're in autopilot.
Yeah, I'm in autopilot heading towards the convoy.
Okay, look down on your right hand side thigh. Right by your butt cheek actually. Can you see that little blank plate and you've got a little toggle that says on, off and bat?
Yep.
Switch it forward. And now you can see where your SPI is out your helmet.
Oh, thank God for that, yes.
That never used to be on, right?
Okay.
Now, the interesting thing is, right, if you look at my stream when it comes by, can you see the blue line, look, coming from your plane?
Yes.
Right? And that's coming from you, right? And it's marking the target. You see how easy that is? Where is your plane?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you up in the clouds by any chance?
No.
Oh no, you're not. You're over there somewhere. Oh, there you go. If you also see, I can see you as a circle. You're 5 miles away. I can't tell if that's your height or you 6,000 feet.
No, I am
Okay,
1,700 feet.
okay, that's fine. And there's your number, so I can see who you are. But you don't need to broadcast your speed. So that's one of the reasons when you capture something, right, or when someone's captured it, you switch it off. So what you need to do is find yourself a nice perpendicular course, so that when you fly over the convoy at 90 degrees to it, and then when you turn around and come back, you're at 90 degrees to it.
Okay.
Right, so
Have you marked any targets yet?
you don't need to. You don't need to. You've got your speed sitting there, right? You've got a mark point A.
Mm-hmm.
So what you need to do is find yourself a nice track that's going to bring you. Imagine you're flying through the middle of their line, but at 90 degrees. I want you to do that and extend then to 30 mile away. Turn round and have them directly in front of you. Because we're going to do a dry run first without firing anything, and then we'll try it with firing stuff. But the trouble is, you can't do that on the first pass, because you've just got to get used to what you've got to do. If you try it all in one move, you'll be all fingers and thumbs. Right, now, my SPI is over there. Let's have a look. Where is my SPI? There it is. Now, if you notice, it's not on the A. Right? So, if I try and do this operation, it's not going to work for me. So we can see where he is at the moment. We can even see on our TAD, right, that he's still broadcasting. So he needs to come round. This line's about there, so he needs to fly in this sort of direction to give him time. Right. You do realise you've still got your lights on. And the enemy's going to be looking up saying, "There's a plane!"
No, I've switched every switch you told me to switch.
You didn't switch the lights off when you fenced in. So those. Well, you've got your lights. If you press left control P, I think. Hang on, left control P switches them on, but I don't think it switches them off. So just one. It's the pinky switch aft. That's the one you were trying to sort out last week. There you go. Oh, that's me. Do you remember you were looking at it? It's pinky switch aft on the throttle. No, sorry, pinky switch mid you want on the throttle. Let me find it for you.
I got it set to something.
Oh, you mean you've got it? So just in that case, oh no, you can't do that. You might switch to the wrong thing.
Switch, okay, let's go switch. Turn that.
Okay, so there we go. It would be, yeah, you want HOTAS pinky switch center.
Okay, I know what it is now.
Okay. There you go. Okay, so you can see where the convoy is.
Yeah, I think I'm now 31 mile away. So
Are you pointing straight to them in a line?
No. I was getting some distance. I'm now turning into them.
Okay. And ideally, what you want to be doing is crossing. Now, while you're turning and while you're doing a million other things, can you see, right, on the TAD where it says SPI on?
I'm still on EXP1 apparently.
That's fine. Can you see on the top right of the TAD, does it say SPI on? Is the SPI light lit up?
No.
It's not. Okay, it must be bugged then, because I can.
See own ID still, should I?
Just a minute. Wait a bit. You can see your own ID. Okay, click the TAD button on the lower left.
And that.
Right.
SPI is on yet.
Yeah. So TMS left long.
EMS left long.
Yeah, that's it. It's gone now. There you go. As I said, the reason why you do it on and off in the way that you do, or should, is so that you haven't got all this cluster of blue lines all on your HMC or HMCS helmet mounted queuing sight. And you have it will show you also on the TAD. So that's why you do it, right? What height are you at the moment?
8,760.
Okay, climb up to about 9, possibly 10. And then just fly, right? I want you to fly towards the targets. I want you to pick 6 targets and put your cursor, or the TGP, you've got to do this from the TGP this time. So just pick 6 targets and then TMS right. So you've got 6 different mark points, right? You've already used A. So is the SPI currently locked to your mark point, or is it offset?
It's locked to my mark point.
That's okay. So just as you're coming in this time through, I want you to pick, and remember where you are and which way you're coming in. I want you to pick 6 targets and try and put the cursor at the bottom of them. Right? Don't necessarily have every next one, because it'll get really confusing when you're trying to do it. So pick 6 random targets as we go along. So you should have B, C, D, E, F and G. Okay? And then I want you to fly over the targets, turn round, and then come back in again. And then we need to test that what we want is going to work before we do it. So once you've done it, I will do it, okay? What I'm doing at the moment is just extending. There we go. We're 16 miles away. So I'll be doing the same thing to demonstrate, and we'll see if we can do it. Have I got bullet holes? Where the hell have I got bullet holes from? Probably got caught by something, didn't even notice. Is the rest of my plane okay? It's interesting. I was just checking then to make sure we're the only ones here. So you can see he's coming over the targets. Okay, right, turn round, go back to where you were, and then line yourself up again as best as you can in the same place. Just watch your height, because you seem to be getting lower as you're doing all these things. And there is a little bit of anti-air, and I've just noticed I've got bullet holes on my right wing. I have, yeah, and I was thinking, where's that come from? Because I can't hear it, because I'm running silent where I am.
Laddie trying flying said, about time,
So we'll get there in a minute and then I'll go through. So all I want you to do, right, is fly back when you're ready. Give yourself about 15 mile now. Fly back when you're ready, and as you get closer, I want you to press the button you've got as the next waypoint, and I just want you to press it and you'll see it cycling through those waypoints and then back to A. Right, let's have a look. I'll show you what I mean. Doing a bit of a tight turn here.
What is PNEU?
A PNEU, pneumatic. That sounds like pneumatic.
Got a yellow little...
I'm not too worried about it. They introduce something in there. I'll get people going, oh, that should be on this or that should be on that, and it just depends. It'll work on either, as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, heading back in.
Okay, so let's have a look here. Do that. Change this to that. Don't know where all my targets are gone. I'm slightly out.
Must have a puncture.
Must have a puncture. Here's all the targets going from right to left. Okay, and jump in again. Don't forget you can also use the China hat forward short and it will zoom you in a little bit more. All right.
Yeah.
So if I go slightly right a little bit, I am above Wiz. And ideally that's the sort of thing that I want to be at.
1, 2, 3.
Did that all, you see it all working?
Yeah.
Okay, put your mavs on, warm them up, you got 3 minutes. So we've got plenty of time. So dismiss, or are you okay with this?
Maps are on.
Okay, so you're warming them up, yeah? Electro-opticals, okay. So you switch missiles, electro-optical, there's a 3 minute timer. We also need to go to dismiss and click on those weapons and it says they're aligning, okay?
I'm 12 mile out now, so should I...
12 mile, don't worry because you've got a 3 minute warm up, haven't you?
Yeah, should I turn away so I don't get closer?
Yeah, turn away and be going the opposite direction. Give yourself about 25 mile or so. Hopefully by the time you get there, they would have changed. Okay, so you're going to fly, as I said, sort of perpendicular. Just gives us the biggest opportunity. I'm a little bit out, I should go left a bit and right a bit to line up with these, but that would be good enough. So what he's done, he's put mark points on 6 of these targets, and what you've got to bear in mind is that the missiles are looking for contrast. So when you make your mark points, you can, you know, afford to be a little bit out. Now this is a bit too fast for me, so what I'm going to do is not go there at all, is go here. Next.
Let's watch 6 lampposts die.
Yeah, this is what what's his name, Horny did, but he didn't do 7 or 6 lampposts. He did one twice. So what we're doing here is just slowing down this so that it's a little bit easier to move and select things. All right, and then you just move, and you got to be careful. Right, one thing when you are coming back, and I'm going to warn you about it, you do not, once your SPI is locked, if you notice that your mark point as you get closer is slightly out, whatever you do, don't put the SPI on the vehicle. You put the SPI on the vehicle and that SPI stays there. Right, so when you're switching through them, it won't work. See the way I'm going now? I am. Let's move on.
Maps look like they're up, but not sweet.
So they're selected.
Yeah, map screen's up. I've got a television screen now, so I can head in and start shooting, right?
Right, so move to your first. Yeah. So when you're pointing back, how many miles out are you?
From the first target, 21 mile.
That's fine. Obviously, you're not going to be able to fire them until
No, I'm turning back.
until you're within range, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
This is just to give you the range so that you'll be able to do all of that and get your missiles off. Because you're only going to be able to start firing when you're about 7.5 miles away, roundabout. And if you're up, what's your height? Because you do seem to be low. Okay, it might pay you to drop to 11 because I'm lurking around up there. And I don't want you to crash into me or me to you when we do, because I'm looking at your plane, not mine. Hey, Mustang. How are you? Hey, CJ. So what Wiz is gonna do is hopefully ripple. The MAV screen is just China hat forward, yeah, long. And the MAV will go and you'll probably get limits or something. And your speed is locked into the mark point B, excellent. So your first MAV is already set. Yeah.
To make sure
Yeah, if you want. So your speed will go and then you squeeze your MAV again. So your MAV shouldn't automatically go because the next MAV doesn't know where to look. Right. You're still heading away at the moment, yeah?
No, I'm
Okay, that's fine. Right, let's have a look at this. Yeah, and you don't necessarily want to be on, say, full tilt to do this. There's me. There's Wiz. See if I can remember what the control is. Because I always forget this.
12 mile out. 11.
I'll work out, I think.
Can I not start shooting these off as soon as the marker is up?
As soon as it locks. As soon as you get a lock, you'll be fine.
Okay.
So I can't see.
9.3 mile out now, so it shouldn't be long.
So your TMS up short, and you're on B already, yeah?
Yep.
So as soon as that missile's away, right, press the button, align the MAV to the target, TMS up short, fire. And you've got to do it all before you get too close. If you find you're a bit close and you get in inhibit, just put your nose down a bit so you're pointing at the target a bit more.
I'm not getting no meters saying that I'm close enough.
Have you got the Mav selected on the left, the Maverick screen? Right, so, well, you're too far away. You'll find that little triangle will start coming in. You got your Maverick selected, haven't you?
Yeah.
What's your range at the moment to the target?
5 mile. Should have come up, shouldn't it?
Yeah, it should have come up ages ago.
Yeah, it hasn't.
What's in your hood? Is it CCIP or something? Or MAV?
TCIP invalid, yeah.
Can you see the little indicator on the left in your hood? Can you see it in your hood?
Indicator.
Pardon?
No, there's no indicator. I know what you mean now. Yeah.
Have you got your Maverick selected in your dismiss?
Oh yeah, I didn't do that.
Okay, turn round, go back, come back.
Yeah, okay.
This is why you give yourself time, right? Because when you're learning, there's so many things, and with the A10C, the terminology is all over the place. You've got longs, shorts, it's all acronyms, and so you've got to just work up to it. This is why I don't do too much time with you, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I did everything apart from select the Mavericks in the DMS.
That's fine, I've done it myself.
I'm going to do now.
You'll probably...
Let
Huh?
me align them then if I haven't selected them.
It doesn't care. Why would you need to select them to align them? How about if you wanted to drop something else while your mavs are warming up or while your mavs are doing something else? Do you see what I mean? So you're not stuck on your mavs just because you've got mavs all geared up ready to go. You might see a target of opportunity, shoot it, come up and then carry on. Anyway, anyone got any questions? So this is the second lesson that Wizzers had. The first one was 2 weeks ago because the other half goes to work in the afternoons on the other week, so I can't do it at 9 o'clock because I don't want to suddenly stop if we're in the middle of something, and I'll give her a lift to work. But she finishes at 8:10 tonight, which she hates, but it's good for me. So we're firing MAV 65Ds, and the MAV 65D needs contrast.
What are the Care Bears' names?
The Care Bear names: Harold, Binky, Kevin, and Buttercup. Are those the right names? Okay, let me know when you're en route.
Yeah, I'm just 12 mile out now, so I'm turning.
Okay, I assume when you're coming in, the base of that location is to your right hand side, is that correct?
Go straight at it.
Yeah, but what I mean is you've got a line of vehicles, and at your right hand end is where the buildings are.
Yes.
Okay, that's good.
I don't know. That's why I asked.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Could you repeat those names for me?
No.
I think it was Binky, Harold, Kevin and Buttercup, but don't hold me to that. And I thought you were supposed to be working and on lurk mode, not having conversations. Messing on your phone or tablet or sneaking in your computer, naughty. I don't know where he is.
It's a question in the office quiz.
Oh, the Care Bears, the actual programme. Oh God, ignore me, I was just making it up. I I can't ask Wiz because it'll distract them. It all goes quiet and then Wiz gets a sweaty joystick. Let's see how many go through.
11 mile out.
Everyone's waiting with bated breath. Everyone's on tenterhooks.
I've got the marker this time, so...
Excellent. You'll be pleased if it works.
Forgive.
No, it's fine.
So I'm in the mark, I'm 8.9, so lock rifle.
You can...
Next waypoint, slew in, lock rifle.
That's 2.
Next way, didn't go to the next waypoint, I don't think, but slew in, lock rifle. Next way, it's not going to the next waypoint. As far as I can see on the maps, no, it won't.
This is why you've got to be careful about how wide apart they are. Do you see what I mean? It's difficult to tell.
Yeah. Blue. Lock in rifle.
Sure it's not going?
It is.
It is
Lock in
going. Yeah,
rifle.
good. Can you see the wind as well, look?
No more Mavericks.
Excellent. Can't see any of them at the moment. We're just sitting watching the trucks, minding their own business. They should...
Post number 1 about to get hit.
Excellent. Where did the others go? Ah, right, yeah. It looks like you got a few on the same thing there. Oh, 3. I can hear them. 4...
Yeah, they all started moving, didn't they, afterwards?
Well, they do move, but the point is, right, it depends on how quick you are.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got more than one. If it looks like it's not moving, right, or the speed's not on the right place, sometimes, as I said, it's really easy to just do the speed, right? And you sort of, oh, it's not there, and you move the speed. The second you move the speed, right, you've knackered up the speed following the what's it. Okay, right, excellent. I'll go through this now with everybody else. Can you go back to base? Do you remember the method I told you how to find it?
No, that was a divert, right?
Yeah, use divert to Krasnodar.
And how am I doing that, sorry?
Basically, use the upfront controller, go function nav, choose divert, and then choose which one you want to divert to. Count from the bottom because it's a bit weird. Right, so go function nav.
Yeah.
And then look on the right hand side, perhaps on the CDU. Change your CDU, your right MFCD to CDU.
Yeah.
And then you can see divert.
Yeah.
Select divert.
Krasnodar Central.
Right, now you're going to change your course setting.
Huh?
What's the angle of the runway, do you remember?
No.
Okay, it's 261. So even though it's runway 7,
Where's the course setting? Oh, that was down on this thing.
it's down on the dial. It's the knob on the lower right.
It's one course.
Okay, and now if you look at the dial at the bottom, it shows you with a big pointy arrow where the base is, the thin pointy arrow, the heading of the runway, the middle of the pointy arrow is one side or the other, so fly towards it, get them all in line and then do a turn and you'll be heading straight down the runway when you get there. So in theory, you don't even need to worry about the runway. You'll be able to just use the headings that you can see, and it'll guide you straight to it, right?
Okay.
And then make sure that about 10 mile away, which is the number in the corner of that device, you should be around about, say, I can't remember, it's 3,000 or 1,500, but it's round about there, probably 1,500. And then you'll be good to land. Remember, there's a strong crosswind from left to right. And I want you to go and load. I'm not sure if you can do 2. See if you can do 2 each side of 65 H's.
Are they the laser ones?
No.
Okay.
They're subtly different to these. So these, I think, are optical. And these are looking for... No, sorry. Yeah, I think... What are they? They're electro-optical, right? And they're looking for contrast.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what happens, right? If you want to blow up a worm in a field, what do you do? Whereas the
Heat.
65 H's
Oh.
will let you lock your target from a long way away, right? Okay, you've got a cold truck on top of a bridge,
Yes.
right? And you've got to blow it up with a Maverick.
Right. And you're not using contrast.
Well, you can't because it's cold. It's the same colour as the bridge. So what's your Maverick going to lock on?
Nothing.
Well, this has got nothing to lock on to. So there's 2 things, right, you can do with a 65H. You can lock a target from a long way away by using force correlation, right? You basically stabilise it and then point it and TMS up and it will be locked. You can't fire it, or you can fire it actually, I've just thought. You can fire it from wherever you want, but it'll be wasted. So what you do is you can lock your target, you can fire the missile, but if you're at say 18,000 feet, you can fire that missile possibly at 12 mile away because of the height. So once it's locked, and it'll go and hit whatever you're locked at, where you can't do that with a 65D because it needs contrast. Does that make sense? So there are occasions where you would switch over. I have seen some people say, oh, don't use these, but that's the right reason why you would. So what I'm doing at the moment is just extending. And then what we're going to do is, as long as I do it right, select the targets. Make sure the speed is locked to the mark point. Use the mark point to mark 6 targets and then put it back to the beginning again and then fly in and fire at all the Mavericks if we can. And then go and land, pick up the H's. Yeah, if you can get 2 H's, I'm not sure whether you can get 2 on each wing. If not, get 1 on each wing. And then we'll look at putting some CBU 97s and 105s in, okay?
Okay.
So, again, I'm still extending. We're at 18 mile at the moment. The only reason you need to extend... Hey, by the way, hello, on YouTube. I do apologise. How much of a delay is that? Oh, not long. The YouTube has got a minute delay between messaging. If you've got a Twitch account, if you look on the bottom of the YouTube stream, in the description there's a link, and that'll open your Twitch chat to me, and that way I can hear what you're saying, and the delay isn't anything like we get on YouTube. So I do apologise. If you've got any questions, please ask, but bear in mind we do have this slight delay and I can't always see because I have to look over here to see what YouTubers are saying. Whereas with Twitch, I can hear what they're saying, if that makes sense. Right, we're 16 mile out. We can also see, or should see, that the dot is down. Hey, Stick C, how are you? Let's go back there. Let's look round. Where's my... There it is, off to my right.
Not too bad.
You at work today? You may need to refuel again.
Why?
Ah, right, okay. As long as you're not driving and watching. Okay, we're away a bit now. So we're going to turn around and head towards the target. Hopefully my maths haven't... yes, I know. Doesn't like turning like that, but we'll do what we need to do. I'm a little bit out here. No, it's good enough. Alright.
Kev said, do a barrel roll.
Oh God. You're right, Kev. Don't tell me you're at work as well. That's 3 of you all at work. Okay, let's have a look. So we've just done the what's it in with thingamajig. Right, so there's one. So that should be B.
Yeah. Late break.
C. He's moving. They're all moving. Why are they all moving? D. E. Oh, there's a tank there. There's a little thingy there. Let's see if I can take that out as well. Okay. So now I've got a series.
0/69 said no.
Can you see this moving? Look, there's B, C, D, E, F, G, maybe A. Okay, so we don't want A, we want B. So now I'm going to make sure that my speed is locked to there. I'm also going to push this to there. Okay, I'm going to be switched onto here, make this soy. Right, and then when we start to get close enough, we can see at the moment we haven't got any tracks. I've done that in the last mile or two, so let's also push that there. I think that's right. Let's pull that there. That there, put that there. Right, that should all be lined up. That should be lined up. And let's see how this goes. So you have to be quite quick. And we are 14 mile away. I think the vehicle that I was actually marking for the first one has moved. Unless I'm still on A. Which I'm not. So we're around about 12 mile out. So what will happen when I start selecting, I'm a little bit high, but that's fine, I'll just come down a little bit. So there's my countdown. So I'm just going to drop my nose a little bit. Okay, and then lock. Let's check as soon as I can get a lock on. Should be on here. Looks like that vehicle's moved, look. So we'll go to the next one. Rifle, move, next one. Oh, that's moved. Next one. Yeah, you can see that they've actually moved. They're going for a ride. Little buggers. Is that going?
Warning, autopilot.
On top of them now, look.
Sorry, I moved them. They needed car washed.
And that one's disappeared. That's why it wasn't locking at the beginning. But you get the gist. Yeah, I thought that one had moved at the beginning. They all went for a little trundle, didn't they? And there we go. I don't know whether I've got any left. So the other little bit was going back to base. Did I get rid of them? Let's have a look. I might have got one left. Oh, two left. So I'm a bit lopsided, and they're firing at me, little shits. We'll get rid of them in a minute. So what we're going to do, I had to come nose down because we were getting too close when that first one wasn't moving. Is we'll do.
Pages, yeah?
Pardon?
You want 65 pages?
Yeah, 65H. There's no hurt in H.
3 or 2?
Can we do twos on each wing, or just one or three?
You can do 1, 2, or 3, I think.
See if you can do two. Not. I want them on the same station. So we're going to change back to function flight plan. That puts us back to flight plan. We're going to go. Where am I? Function nav. Change this one to CDU. Change this to divert. Change it to 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Change this to 261. See, I'm not paying attention to my plane. Look. Change this to 261. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it was 261. There we go. Okay. So this is the direction of the airbase. This thin arrow is the runway. This other arrow is the middle of this line, and it's out. So for me to land at this base, I need to turn left. Yes, I know, I've just turned you off. I need to turn left, and I need to go left and get that aligned. Now, as we're going along, right, what you'll see is the base and the runway pointer will start to get closer together. This is called the course deviation line. So this is how much I am out to get this all in a line. So as I go towards this, I'm going to go steeper in a minute because we'll run out of space. These will close, and that line's going to get in the middle. And then when all these are just before they align, I'm going to do a hard right. Depending on how close I am, I need to go more left. The more perpendicular I am to that line, the more I need to turn into it to move it. So if I turn here, it'll move in fast. Can you see? Let's fly level for a bit. And if we keep flying at this angle, what will happen is you'll see these start to close up. Now I should be pointing towards Krasnodar Central there, which I am. Did you land alright, by the way?
Yeah.
Did you use the gauge to guide you in? Did you?
White line?
Yeah, yeah.
Aligned with the runway, yeah.
Yeah, it all works okay, doesn't it?
Yeah. The wind was very nice then, helpful.
The wind was spot on,
Yeah,
mate.
sorry.
Well, the wind's going to be really useful. So at the moment, you've got what have you got? 2 of those Mavericks on each wing on one station.
I think it's still refueling at the moment, but it should
Okay.
be 2 Maverick 65Ds on each.
No, 65 Gs. H's.
8, I think so. Whatever we wasn't using.
You can soon tell because they're white in colour rather than green. There, slide it down a little bit. It's a little bit off. Let's go left just a tad more. The wind's going to push us over anyway. What height am I? 2,900, okay. It is a bit windy, as you can see.
Stixxer said, how do you like GE windrows now?
Yeah, it's really quite good, isn't it? I haven't got the general gist, but it seems alright. It's very much Valheim with some better graphics. Although to be honest, Valheim's absolutely fine as it is. That was an excellent job. I mean, it came at the right time. They made so much money from it. But they have literally gone to Valheim, looked at it, made it very similar. There's some nice features. I was just having a mess. But I couldn't get to the file that I wanted.
The address for TeamSpeak is TS3.0123445 UK 9044 and the number is important.
Right, so the top left is telling me the distance I am away from the base, but once I align all of these up, you can see now that the runway is directly in front of me there, and I'm more or less at the right angle. Now I can't go in a straight line because it's that windy. So I'm going to jettison, where's my jettison button on this? Do you know what? I've forgotten. Is it this one? I've forgotten where my jettison button is, can you believe it? Let's move this to landing, by the way.
Just noticed I need to reinstall TS3.
Blimey. You got a new PC or you managed to do your upgrade you were after? Why can't I see my jettison? Ah, knickers. We'll just go lopsided. Who cares?
Top left red button is jettison.
Thank you. I don't know why I couldn't see it without... there we go. I don't know why I couldn't see it through looking. I just don't tend to use it. So there's the runway. You can see how everything's lining up, look. A little bit off at the moment. But as I said, it's really windy, as you'll see in a minute. How far out are we? 11 mile.
Had to reinstall Windows, changed all my old drives from .2e.
Ah, right as well.
Pedro_McLeod said, are you going to buzz the tower? No?
No. You don't exactly buzz the tower in a A10. You sort of make just a wet farty noise and they hear you coming from miles away, so nobody jumps. How was your fuel, by the way? Did you have more fuel left this time?
About 6,500.
Yeah, that was a bit better, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Although we didn't take quite so long in the air.
No. They're not white, they're kind of black. Is that...
Their 65Hs are white.
Platty trying flying said, you could barrack the
I've
tower
got
instead.
2 AGM 65Hs.
Yeah, they're sort of grey white. Have they changed the look of them?
Sir said, and
Me,
since I
that's
changed
black.
drives I was working on my
Is it
own
because
company in spare
you're not in a
time.
hangar, are you?
Platty trying
I'm
flying
on
said, BR
taxiway-ish apron.
Already? Oh, right, yeah, on the one going off, yeah?
Yeah, I just parked.
I'm a little bit high here, by the way. As you can see. Bit of an angle because of the wind. Really am high. I'm not coming down now. Three 301 coming into land 27 Krasnodar. Not that anyone doesn't know. Speed, okay. Wait till it slows down before I stick my nose wheel steering on, because otherwise it's gonna steer like I don't know what. And then we'll just change the weapons around a little bit. So far you got two 65Hs, yeah, on each wing.
I think so, yes.
Okay, because we're going to get some 97s and 105s as well. Might have to drop a bit of fuel, I'm not sure yet. But at least I'm down, by the way.
I can see.
It's a bit blowy.
Did you get all 6 targets?
No, when I went to fire the first one, it had moved. It literally, they all started moving. I thought, and this is before I fired.
Yeah.
So they all, the first target, it wasn't getting a lock, and I looked on the TGP, and there's nothing there. So as I'm moving the targets around, there's nothing there, and I thought, you buggers. So they all started to just decide to move. I think it was when some of the other trucks blew up. So they were damaged but hadn't blown. So I managed to get 4 off. But then I got 2 left because I was over the top of them. They even shot me a little bit. But what do I care? It's because I was a bit high, and as I was getting closer, the problem being is that when you're high, right, as you get closer, you've got a limited vision or view from the Maverick. Remember me explaining it? Like a dog cone on when they want the vet wants them to stop biting stitches. So their cone of view is limited up, down, left and right. And if you're too high, right, and too close, the Mavericks can't see, so you have to put your nose down a bit, which I did. But when things started moving around, it just meant I was a bit closer than was a good place to be. I've probably got a few more bullet holes. But hey ho. Right, okay. Let's have a look. Now let's... You haven't got any Mavericks on?
I have.
Where?
Wings.
Oh yeah. I couldn't see them then. Yeah, have you noticed how they're white? She's at work.
Mavericks are white, yeah, but I thought you were talking about the laser heads. I was expecting like Apache radar ones looking.
No. These are white,
The
right?
actual missiles are white. Okay, yes.
What are you like?
Terrible.
That sounds like my dog's got no nose. Air-to-ground missiles. 65H. We want 2 on that wing and 2 on this. Right, you got your boat switch set up?
Is that the white hot, black hot camera?
Yeah.
Yes. Do.
Right, okay. In the middle. Let's have a look. I can't put these. Let's try. Yeah, I can do that. Stick CBU 105 on number 7 and number 5.
CBU.
It's a bomb, yeah.
What one? 105?
Yeah.
7 and 4, did you say?
7 and 5. And then we want a CBU 97 on 8 and 4. And then we can also put a CBU 97 in the centre. Oh, no, don't. It takes them off. What a bastard. So, yeah, put the 2 105s on 5 and 7. And then let's look at my weight. Okay, I've got time for a bit more fuel.
Can put one on pylon 2.
No, I'm not going to bother because then it'll be a little bit too unbalanced. The aims are on there to balance out the ECM a little bit.
Request refueling. Request rearming.
Right, so when you did a request, did you actually get a response or not?
I haven't requested yet.
Because if you don't, you just need, he says in theory, to
2
move
copies.
that to intercom. Let's see if I can do mine. Didn't do anything for me then.
Fueling complete.
Let's change this again. So I got no response. So hopefully this will work. Otherwise I am going to have to move. And this is a 97, I think it was. This is a 97. And this is a 105. This is a 105. And fuel, I'll stick up.
I'm complete.
Right. About there, that'll do. That'll just give me a bit of leeway.
Request refueling.
Let's see if we get one.
Request rearming.
Right. So I didn't get a response, right? So that means that I couldn't be heard. So what I did, which you probably wouldn't notice, is I just moved the rotary at the back to intercom. instead of radio. I need to put it back. Have you heard me over comms at all while I've been talking? No. Interesting. One, two, radio check. Yeah, that's interesting. I'm not getting anything. Oh, mind you, this. You try over comms with normal VoIP switch. Pardon?
I tested.
Oh yeah, you and your bloody funny mic. No, there's nothing there, is there? Oh, it won't work with me because I'm on intercom. I'm what an idiot. Just bear with. I'll switch it back in a minute.
Okay, I'm going to do the acknowledge. Yes.
Yeah, because of the weapons have changed. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop 197. Right, you're going to put the 97. We're going to target the middle, and I mean right on the middle of the whatever's left. Okay?
Okay.
And we're not going to make any changes. And we're going to see what happens. And what what we're going to look out for is where does a missile actually go pop? And where do the bombs land, the bomblets? You're aware of CBUs, how they work, yeah? So basically, you drop a canister, right? That starts to fall. At a certain height, it drops some cylinders. They come out on parachutes. The parachutes disappear. The cylinders spin, shoot back up in the air, and eject little bomblets. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
The 97 is for armoured heavy targets.
Right.
The 105 is a 97 with a kit built in, right? And that basically will direct the bomb according to where your speed is. Okay? We're going to drop all the bombs in CCRP, which is continuously calculated release point. So you fly level and you'll get subtly different markers. Now, it doesn't matter which way you come into these targets, but the best path is in the same line as the targets you're dropping the bombs at.
Mm-hmm.
You'll get more coverage with these type of bombs by going in a line. Now I know what's going to happen. So what we're going to do then is make adjustments and then drop them again, okay? And then see what happens, all right? So my plane was loading up. I'm not sure if it finished. So as you notice, the CBUs all look the same.
Yes.
Right, so we got two. So we're going to look at using what's that word? Not force correlation. Sorry, we're going to use force correlation, and then we're going to use some subtly different things for the other weapons. Okay. Right, so just bear with me. We're going back to target 1. So make sure that everything's set to go to target 1. For now, I'd put your TAD back where it was, which is going to be China Hat short forward twice. Make sure waypoint 1 is set. Make sure that your SPI is locked to the waypoint. Okay.
CJS
Yeah, I think so.
said that army camo looks legit.
Which one's that one? That one.
Although it's
Yeah,
telling
it's
me that
proper.
oh yeah, no, it's yeah.
The reason, remember, where you last fired your missiles, that's where the waypoint stayed. So when you switch back, it doesn't automatically switch. So not the waypoint, the SPI. So you wouldn't have seen the speed in the middle of the runway if that was wrong. Okay, so you lead us out. We need to take off on 27. Once we go, climb up to at 5, and then we'll climb up to about 10,000 feet. Okay, and I'll be whatever you tell me to be. Okay, in your own time.
Yeah, I'll just wait for the snow, so.
And then once we drop these weapons and land, that will be it for today, which is a little bit quicker than it was the other week.
Yep. Here we go. Who are?
I'm sorry, you got the wrong skin on for that. Tell you where I'll be going is making a cup of tea, because at the moment I don't have a tea lady.
It's working. Crafted.
I know she's working, but where's my tea? she's literally right going away tomorrow till about Tuesday, and then she asked me this morning, could I pick up another woman who she works with, who I drop off sometimes at the station. Yeah. Pick her up at the station, and I says, yeah, that's fine. And she gets in the car, and I said, you do realise Lisa's going away again, going away for a few days. And I said, you have got my number, haven't you? And she says, yeah, and I'll make sure to, she tells me again by the end of the day, don't you worry. And Lisa went bright red. It was hilarious. Because when I'd got my leg and I couldn't do anything, I got a leg in a bag and an arm in a bag, opposite sides. Lisa had to sort me out, yeah, for the bath, if you remember. So she says to me at the time, what would you do if I wasn't here? And I'd said I'd get this other woman to do it.
Crikey. They should put speed cameras on the taxiway.
It's not me. I'm not going fast, look.
No.
It's because you're inside the plane. Where have you gone?
All the way to the end.
Right, okay. Oh no, that's all right there. You could have took the other curve. That would take you to the same place, just down a bit. I thought you might have gone past the hangars then. Yeah, you could have turned a left then. That would have been fine. If you go past the hangars, you go all the way around the back of them and then on through the top. Very quiet in chat, by the way. If anyone's got any questions, please ask. I don't mind at all. I know it sometimes can be distracting, but I'm happy to answer anything while we're going along. If you are watching with a view to learning, by all means soak it in, but try not to panic too much and don't just write down what I say in terms of startup. It's far better for you to listen to a startup multiple times. Right, you should have held short before you got on the runway. Did you? I didn't hear a radio call. 3301 holding short, runway 27 Krasnodar Central. Forgot to do that. Did I? Let me just check. Yeah, I knew I would. Right. 122 radio check. You didn't hear me, did you?
I heard something. Am I supposed to respond to that?
What, a 122 radio check?
No, I didn't hear that.
122 radio check.
I had to hold in short spiel.
122 radio check. Yeah, you're not.
That's loud.
Did you get that?
Yeah.
This one, 122 radio check. Or
122 radio check 5x5.
so, are you getting that now over the radio in game 122?
Yes.
Okay, so it was working. Okay.
Did you get it back?
No, because you're talking game in TeamSpeak. Okay, 122 taking
Just
active
use the
27.
volume. It's loud.
I do apologise. It's because I'm close to you, so it's not got far to go. So again, when we take off, what we're looking for there is that there. Okay, too far forward, too far back, you'll see multiples. Okay, what do we do next?
I don't know. Us to take off?
You can ask me if you want. Run it up to 80, put your brakes on, run it up to 80. And then you call, what's your number?
94.
94 in the green. Have you got any, which way am I going? When am I going after you? Remember, you're leading now. You need to give me the information.
I'm not leading.
You are. That's why you're in front. You got a choice. Would you rather me be behind you and fly with you, or you try to be on my wing?
Right, so, 94 in the green, going to take off, bearing right towards waypoint 1. Going to get to 10,000 feet.
Yeah.
And you're going to take off full power 3 seconds after me. Goodbye.
3 seconds, okay. Okay, 1 in the green. Did you want me to chain left after takeoff, or shall I just stay on the right, which is the way you're turning?
Or if you want to stay on my wing, you got to go right, haven't you?
No. You tell me to chain left because you're turning into me.
Okay. No, I've got to take off first.
Can't even see these numbers.
Please.
One wheel's up.
Only 4 wheels up. Am I supposed to say that as well?
Yeah.
No. Jargon.
That's what German was that. Oh, that's good. You put your lights back on. I just noticed.
I did, yeah. You turn them off now, don't I?
Well, yeah, I suppose.
Is that done?
Yeah, that's good. Where am I?
You are just behind me on my left wing.
You should have known before you looked.
How?
Because you should have told me where to be, and you should have made sure that I can be with you. So once you took off and you got up to a height, you would have needed to have slowed down to allow me to get onto your wing. And then, hang on, and then you would have checked with me, right? Or just looked over your shoulder to check to see where I was, and then slow down a bit more if I wasn't there. Obviously, you don't want to go less than about 250. That gives me plenty of room to catch up. But as I said, when you sit at the front, you've got to pay attention to whoever's behind. The more planes you've got, when you've got like 3 people flying with you, you've just got to be really careful. Because if you do manoeuvres when everyone's not in formation and fairly tight, you'll end up with a big straddly mess. For instance, if we're all flying in a straight line, one behind the other in trail, and you turn, right, and you say, right, turning now, if we all turned at the same time, we'd be flying by the sides of each other. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I think are you still on full tilt at the moment?
5 degrees. I've just hit 10.3. I'm going to level out now.
Yeah, your power's still at 4. You need to just ease off a little bit on your speed. Not much. Now you've leveled out, actually, you are going to speed up. You'll see. So you want to just back that off. In your helmet mounted camera, you should see your speed. Possibly. I'm looking at you, so I see it in front.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find the actual targets in the TGP, actually.
Right, okay. So at the moment, right, what you would really want me to do is move away a bit. So I'm going to just move over to the left. Because you want to go up the road, and I know that they're sort of going in the direction we're heading now.
Okay.
Oh, come on, what's going on with this switch? It's just not working.
Well, yeah, kind of. Third left.
I think my
Can
throttle.
I go back to my previous mark points to find them again?
Of course you can. So go back to mark point A.
Yes.
And then you want to just have a look around and set your speed right in the middle. You want your speed in maximum, right? Maximum damage to them, so set it right in the middle. So if I go to mark point A, I think I know why I might...
Like a new mark point?
Yeah, do a new mark point, but use the first mark point and use that to get there, and then just put your new one in the middle. I'm
the middle of as many trucks as possible.
Well, look at the target and assess. I can't do any it looks like I can't do any what's it at all now. Might be because I'm going a bit slow. It may be because I'm going along. And what I want you to do, right, tell me and then put yourself into auto once you've got a general mark where you think it should be. And it needs to be right in the middle of them all.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me when you've got that mark.
I've marked.
I've got no autopilot. Okay, so what I want you to do now is look, once you've done, go into autopilot horizontal, okay?
Yeah. You mean flat and level?
Yes.
Okay.
And I want you to go and select Right. Let's have a look. 1 CBU 97, and I'll tell you. Oh shit! I forgot to do that. Just one moment, caller.
GBU9. Can you do that in the air? Can you?
Yeah, looks like it, doesn't it? Don't see why not.
No.
I just don't have any. I don't have any sort of autopilot. I think they've shot it. Right. Okay. So we got CBU 97. Choose number 4.
Yeah, I take that.
And I want you to. You notice it's in CCIP.
Yes.
Right. I want it changed. So.
CCRP mode, change it to CCRP.
Yes, please. Trouble is, I can't get to what I want to get to and zoom in.
CCRP.
Yeah. So CBU single CCRP save. Right, that's only for that one target, one missile, right?
We passed the okay, so they're behind us now. My TTP is black.
I'm not sure what's going on with me. Let's make that soy. There we go. So you can see all the targets all spread out. Now the reason it's black, I don't know. Did you turn away a little bit as we went?
We've passed it, it's behind us now.
Is it?
Yep. So by the time we turn back in.
Okay, that's fine. What's your height, by the way?
Height is 10,950.
That's it. Stay there. Don't go above 11, all right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you choose the point you want to drop this bomb, you should see a line. Is that right?
It's probably behind me, but...
No, sorry. Tell me when you're pointing. This is a CBU 97. Now, it doesn't matter which way we're coming, but as I said, ideally, if you want to blow the most amount of things up, ideally you want to go down the line.
Yeah. So I'm 10 mile out now, 11 mile out. If I turn around now and get down the line, is that good?
Yeah, that's fine. And I just wanted to go over the marks. It's quite difficult considering I can't go into autopilot at all, so it makes it difficult. Right, so what I'm going to do is just put a mark somewhere like that there, okay? Put it on the road, right, if you can. And
put it
what?
On the road, did you say? Because you came through.
Yeah. Put it on the road if you can. Oh man. And
I have the line for dropping a bomb now.
right, so that's a P-Brill, predicted bomb release line. Okay.
Yep.
So align that line down the centre of the target. Right, and you'll see a little ball on the top. Now, if that ball's already counting, turn away because you won't have time. So,
2 minutes 30.
okay, so you'll see, right, that ball counting down from 20 seconds. So it's giving you a warning, and you need to make sure that that ball is going down, right, going to drop through the middle of that target. Now, it doesn't care, right, where that is, as long as it crosses through. I think by default it's through that target. So align that line you can see with the center of the pipper. Wait for it to say release or man rel in the hood, which should be anything after it's gone gone past. Now, when you do a manual release on these, you start to press and hold your pickle button as after the ball drops. So when you see the ball dropping, I would press and hold the button, and you keep it held, and you make sure it stays through that pipper as you drop it, okay? I think I'm going to lose my plane before then, because it's so difficult to keep it going and fly without any sort of autopilot. And I can't tell whether it's damage on me or whether it's my throttle buttons playing up. Do you know what I mean? I'll just have to try trimming. It's just because I take my eyes off to see what you're doing. Let's see if I can hold it like that carefully. Oh, look at my frame. Yeah, I can see why I might have a problem. So, okay, can you see the ball at the top?
Yeah.
Has he got 20 yet?
Yes.
Okay, so once it's moving, are you holding the pickle button? Excellent. Just tell me when the bomb drops. Okay, so we can see the bomb dropping right now. It depends which way you were going as to where the bomb goes. So it's also windy. So that's going down nicely. Okay. And you dropped it slightly left of the targets.
Yeah, I had like right at the end of the countdown. It was a bit of a nightmare to try and keep the line in the thingy.
Okay.
I got 4 kills.
Right. So what height are you at?
I am 11,020.
11,020. Okay. Did you see what happened to the parachutes? Because I missed them.
No,
Oh, it's not a case of it being armed.
As soon as that canister disappears, I don't really see much because it goes back to your
Right.
main view. doesn't it?
Well, what you got to do is put yourself in autopilot and watch it down. So the problem is, can you drop now, right, a 105? And I would suggest dropping the 105 that's opposite,
Okay.
right?
Need to make it CRP again.
No, it's 105 is CRP only.
Okay.
And you'll see all you get is a straight line. Can you see the straight line?
I'm heading away from the targets at the moment.
Okay, no worries. No, it isn't a case of being armed. It's the problem is with it is the height of function and the fact that it's windy. So a CBU-97 is an unguided bomb. A CBU-105 is the 97 with a wind correction on the back. So I think originally that used to cost about $250,000 per bomb to put this wind correction on it. So now you can just put your spitty and fire the bomb, and the bomb will go where you're pointing. It'll adjust. Right, so let me know when you're sort of looking at the target.
Okay. I'm 8 mile out at the moment, so.
You don't need to be too far. So let me show you what happens with mine. I'm just going to come in and drop, right? And I'm just going to drop to demonstrate what goes on with this bomb, okay? So there's the P-brill. And make sure you're flying level when you drop it. So we have a counter. And I need to line this up as best as I can in the centre of this pipper. Now bearing in mind I haven't got any autopilot, so when we're not looking at my plane it may crash, which isn't a problem because I know what I'm sort of enough to be able to explain. So I'm going to hold this down as much as I can, and as soon as we're close enough, we'll see a 20-second countdown at the ball on the top, and we just hold the button down, let the ball pass through. As it passes through the middle, it will drop the bomb, and that is just a manual release. We can drop the bomb anywhere, I think. So we need to just go down a little bit.
Okay, I'm looking at targets. I've got the line. I've got 1 minute 45 seconds on the timer. Well, that might be, yeah, kind of.
Right, so, okay, I've got 20. I'm going to drop my bomb. If you couldn't watch, put yourself in autopilot. So I want you to watch what happens and what happens to the bomblets. Holding the button. Okay, pickle. Right. So F6, follow that bomb down.
Yeah.
When it pops, F6 it again.
Okay.
Now it depends, right? See the way this is. Right.
Again does nothing.
It does, and you'll see all these little bomblets. Can you see the way they're over there? The point being is the bombs are floated away, and whilst I did hit something, I also killed a lot of worms in the grass. Okay? And that's the problem. What you've got to remember is these bombs, right? That is a dumb, unguided bomb. So when it's unguided, you've got your speed, you've got the wind, your height, all these factors taken into consideration. And then it releases all these parachutes, which are then going to float down. Well, if it's really windy, where are the parachutes going? So basically, you don't get a really good dispersal, right, by default, because they pop the parachutes at round about 1,800 feet. So if you take into account our flight, the direction we go in, the direction of the wind, now the parachutes are out at 1,800 feet. The spread of the bombs is big, and the fact that it's windy means they're all going to float away. So I just did a drop, and some of them just went and killed the worms, okay? Your next bomb, which is a 105, is a CBU-97 with that tail kit on. So if you notice, all you get is a straight line.
Yes.
Yeah? And that straight line, it's guided, it's GPS guided, so it will go to where your speed is. So you've countered one of those problems already. Okay, so when you're ready, just go and make sure your speed's in the right place, and then go and drop that bomb.
So how am I making sure my speed's in the right place by a mark point? Yeah.
Have a look. No. Have a look at your TGP, and you want to kill maximum amount of things. Make the assumption that all these bomblets are going to drop where your speed is. So look at.
Push forward to make TGP, right?
No,
Rather
so you go onto your TGP, yeah, and you just TMS up long and put your speed where you want it to be.
Yeah, okay.
Right? And not necessarily on any mark points or anything, just put your TGP or your speed where you want it to be. TMS up long. That sets your speed there. That is the basis for where you're going to drop this bomb. And the same as the other one, that was the basis for you dropping that bomb. So that's what you're using as your reference point. So let me know when you're coming in, what you can see. So I've got no autopilot because, as I said a little bit earlier, the little bugger shot me and they've taken my autopilot out. So it makes it quite interesting to try and fly and watch everything that's going on, do you know what I mean? But that was to show you what happens with that bomb. Right, you on the way to target yet?
Not yet.
Okay. Just roll this out a little bit. Keep this pointing up. I've just got to watch the speed then. So all these mark points that we did earlier.
Okay, I'm on my way in. 1 minute 30 on the timer.
Okie dokie. I'm losing too much height all the time at the moment, so. Now I need to get a CBU 105, and that's what you see instead, okay? So there's no ball, okay, but there is a bracket on the left. And you see it's set to manual release, and you'll have a timer, and when you're in the bracket you can press the button. That's a little
Release.
okay.
Be cool.
So let's have a look. Right, go into autopilot, follow the bomb down, and then F6 as soon as it drops. So you'll see your bomb is going to where your speed is, okay? Now if my plane crashes, I'm not too worried at this point. Can you see the way your bomb's going where you told it to?
No.
Why, watch, where's your bomb lips? Right. Oh,
First time I've seen them.
I missed them. Are they still falling?
You're falling.
For some reason. There you go. But again, we've got a problem. We've got a big spread, but they've blown away, haven't they?
They've
blown off course.
Yes.
Right. So the point I'm making is we can do something about that. So what we're going to do is select. We should have one CBU 97 left. Okay.
I've got. Yeah, one.
Station 8.
One left. Yep.
Okay.
So CBU 97
Thanks for
selected.
the raid, Madame_.
Oh,
And
Thank you,
welcome
Cassie.
to
thank you for the raid.
Nelson.
I'm in the middle of something at the moment. Thank you very much. So what we're looking at, just one moment, is the height of function of a CBU 97. Right, so select, is it station 8 you've got left with a CBU 97? I then want you to select inventory on the top buttons.
Thanks for hitting that follow
Yep.
button.
I then want you to hit station 8 again.
Thank you for the follow, Madiadake.
Yeah.
Thank you for the follow there. I want you to hit CBU on the right.
Yeah.
I want you to hit CBU 97 on the left.
Yeah.
On the left hand side you can see HOF, or height of function,
Yeah.
and I want you to click it until it's 900. I've got no autopilot. Okay. You got it at 900.
No, I didn't hear any of that. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Oh,
Can I change
can,
it?
right. Can you see height of function on the left?
Yeah.
I want you to click it, the button, until the height of function
Yeah.
is 900. Now,
900D.
right, now don't do any more yet. On the right hand side there are two buttons. One says load, one says load sim. Okay?
Yeah.
Load is when you've only got one missile. Load sim is when you've got a missile and a symmetrical missile on the opposite pylon. So, you know, pylon 8 is opposite a different pylon, right?
Yeah.
If we had those with the same weapon, we could load this change into both of them at the same time. Okay? So in this case, we've only got one. So hit load.
And that.
Okay? And then hit stat.
Yep.
And when you select your CBU 97, right? Oh, we forgot to change it to CCRP.
Yep.
You should see on the details that the height of function is 900. You know when you select profile, yeah?
Height, yeah, 900, yep.
Okay, so you got CCRP. Now, this time we need to be a bit more disconcerting about where we drop the bomb. So if you look down at the targets, you should see what direction the wind is blowing, assuming that there's still some burning. I hope there is.
Right, I see.
Now, can you see there's some burning? Pardon?
Doesn't say ready on the DMS.
That's fine.
Okay. I need to turn back in if you want me to see stuff.
Oh, have you selected it? Sorry. CBU 97, yeah?
Yeah, it's selected.
Okay, that's fine. It's green, yeah?
Doesn't say ready. Yeah.
That's okay.
So it looks like the smoke's blowing to the left.
Right, so look at it in the direction you're coming from and make an adjustment so that it's slightly into the wind. Now, it also depends which way you're coming from and so on. This is a dumb bomb, remember. So just place your SPI a little bit so we can see where the wind's blowing. So you don't have to do it loads, but you have to do it a bit. Okay? So what we're doing there, you can see which way the wind's blowing. So if we want to hit most things...
So if the smoke's blowing to the left, I need to go slightly more to the right of the target that I want to get?
You need to go into the wind. That's the direction it's blowing from. So you need it to move slightly to the left in the opposite direction to the way that the wind is blowing.
Okay.
You found a nice place?
Maybe.
Okay, once you're happy with it, go and drop your bomb and let me know when you've released.
Okay.
And I'm circling around at 9,000 feet at the moment, so I'll try and get a bit more height. So what we've done...
It's not... I have no
Know what?
HUD to drop the bomb. It's still saying manual release from... I mean, the bomb isn't saying it's ready.
You've picked the CBU 97, yeah?
Yeah, CBU 97, it's in green, it's
Right.
selected.
Did you do... You've selected it on dismiss.
Yeah,
It's green, yeah?
it's green.
Right. When you look at the target, are you getting a pipper?
No.
Right, okay. Just cycle through your master, right? Master mode until you see CCRP in your hood.
Yep, got it.
Okay. And then you should see a line and also the ball and then your pipper, alright? Okay.
Why did I have to do that?
It depends. For some reason it may have been on a different setting nav or something. I don't know. But if you just cycle round, it's selecting the mode for the missile because the missile started off in CCIP and then we changed it. Did I change mine? Yeah.
10 mile out.
Okay, so now if you drop these bombs in CCIP, right, which is continuously calculated impact point, then you might make them a bit more accurate. But to be honest, I find that just changing the height of function and licking your finger a little bit does help quite a lot. And we'll see what the difference is. So targets are over there. There's the road. So he's going down the line. This road in the middle is where the targets are. And he's going down the middle and he's put the speed, right, which is what's guiding the bomb a little bit. It's not fully guided. As I said, it's fairly done. So the bomb should drop slightly to the right of the wind. We've lowered the height of function, so all the parachutes, right, will drop. Okay. When you do drop it and you're following the bomb, you have to be very quick about your F6ing to see the parachutes, because they will go off pretty damn quick between when they open and when they go off. And you'll also notice that the spread is tighter. And if you've done it right, you're going to kill more targets, okay? So we'll go F6. Here's his bomb. While it's going down, let's see if I can go. There we go. Watch. I think you might have still been slightly off a little bit.
Kind of hit where I was aiming.
Have they gone? Have they landed yet? Have the parachutes gone down?
Yep.
I haven't seen.
That was quick.
Yeah. So what happens when you do that is you lower the point at which the parachutes are open, which then reduces the circle. So if you drop them by default, you'll get a circle of a certain size. They'll always drop and have a height of function of 1800. Because we've halved it, the circle is smaller. But when you get used to it, you can make it more accurate. Okay?
Yeah.
Do the same thing with the CBU 105. And again, move it slightly to the right. Now what I'm going to do is move this
So select CB 105 inventory.
over here.
Select.
And then let's see what happens. Right, I'm just going to drop mine. So yeah, it's the same thing, inventory. Select which station. CBU.
Yeah, changing the height now to 900.
Yeah. It saves you blowing up Timmy's house when it's windy.
Load, because there's only one, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And stats. Up to 105.
Okay, now just wait for me to drop my bomb. Not sure how much time I've got here. 5 miles away, so I'm going to drop it.
It's in CCR, CCRP mode, is that
It's a 105 is always CCRP.
right? Okay.
The reason you don't have the circle and that is you don't have to be so accurate with it. So what you're doing with a circle, right, and the other bomb, it has to cross a line. So think of horizontal line across the middle of the pipper. So as long as the circle goes through the inside of the pipper over the line, the bomb will release. If it doesn't, it'll just stick. Right? But it's not very accurate. Okay? You can make it more accurate because there's a 5mm line. And that is really difficult to get it to go where you want. Whereas on this mode with these, as long as the ball goes over the 9.3 line at some point, pickle, it'll work. So I've just dropped my CBU 97. Let's see if we can go and watch it down. So literally, as soon as that pops, right, you'll find it'll fire. There's the parachutes. All go bang, 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 spinning around. And as you can see, it's made a tighter circle. It's in the area that we want to shoot, look. And the road's right down the middle. This is something you get used to with practice. Okay, you might need to check your target area out, because that was a pretty damn good drop. Even if I say so myself.
The target, so I'm looking at the 2 tanks that are nearly dead, that's what I've been trying to get.
Okay, well remember you've got 10, I think it's 10 bomblets. You got 4 cylinders, I think, and I'll have well more than 10 bomblets. So you got a big good area to cover. But when I just dropped mine, you saw how it was literally centered on the road. So that's because I moved slightly right. As I said, I'm used to doing this. Moved slightly right into the wind, and the bombs dropped on that line where all those targets would have been. Let me know when you drop.
20 seconds.
Pardon?
Another 20 seconds.
Okay. Right, so now he's dropping the CBU 105.
Be cool.
Okay. Oh no, just ask any questions you've got. If you're struggling with anything, just ask. So I started 2 weeks ago with this guy, and we're just going through some of the weapons. We'll do some 65Hs in a minute, and we're just changing height of function on CBUs, 2 different types. If you watch a video from 2 weeks ago, that was going through the startup and basic Maverick stuff. Today we went through the startup and then a couple of weapons, so watch how these go. There we go. Oh, wrong button. I missed it. Did it work? Right.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, so the 105s can be more accurate, but when you get used to it, you can by eye place that excuse me, you can place that where you want it to be.
Yeah.
Okay, now there is something built into this that will make the CBU 97s work much better than any other dumb bomb. and it's called wind correction, and I'll do it next time because I'm not going to do it now. I don't want to blow your head. We got the last bomb missiles to drop, and then we're done. So what that allows you to do is you feed in the weather, right? But by the weather, I mean, excuse me. You feed in. Sorry, mate, I'm just coughing. So you feed in the wind and the temperature, right, for a number of different heights. So there's a calculator which I'll show you next time, sorry. And it calculates what the wind and temperature will be over about 5 heights. You feed that information into the CDU, and when it's windy, whatever height you're coming in from, however much wind there is, it will adjust where you need to drop the bomb. So you will put your SPI where you want it, right? And say, this is my target. And it will use this, it's called LAST, Low Altitude Safety Target Enhancement. And it will utilise the data that you've put in and adjust where you need to drop the bomb. It doesn't care where you're coming from, what height you're at, okay, or how fast you're going. It will make an adjustment to maximise the damage done by that bomb. Okay. It's really clever considering, right? And I'm going to show you because it is a bit of a nerd out. It's just quite an amazing thing it does. Right, okay, for now what we're going to do, right, is warm your Mavericks up.
Right.
So the Mavericks again are warmed up by going...
Yeah, the Mavs I got, it's those the dump bombs, so in here just in time.
Okay, Larry.
Oh, right, you're there. We've just done the dumb bombs.
Selected this time.
Right. Now these bombs are a little bit different. Okay, you can see they're aligning there in white. Can you go and choose a target and try and choose it so that your SPI will be there all the time? Oh, you can see those have gone. If there are any targets left. I know what is left. See that little... Why is that masking now? I haven't got any autopilot on this because when I was out before I got shot a little bit. That's gone. Just behind there it is. See that there? Right, I've got the anti-air with a little man in it.
I'm going for one of the Uriels off to the right.
Right, just tell me when your bombs, your missiles have warmed up. Remember, this is the H, okay, not the D.
Okay.
Make sure that your SPI is in the right place, i.e. it's not too high, so it should stay more or less where it is. And the first one we're just going to waste, okay?
Okay.
The second one we won't waste. I hope. What's your height?
9.2.
Okay, see if you can climb it up to about 10, 11. You don't realise how much you use your autopilot when you haven't got one. Especially when I'm explaining stuff, because I just tend to fly around a lot. So what we're going to do then is use something called force correlation on this 65H. So once you've got your SPI, let me know when the timer goes and we'll switch to MAV.
Yes, time's done.
Timer's done. Okay, mine's...
No, Mav is now soy.
Okay, nearly gone. Right, okay. So it is, yeah. So let me put my MAV button back. Right, so push your MAV onto your target. Right. Point in the general direction.
Yeah, I'm 8 mile out, so
Fine.
I'm in zone.
Can you go further? Just go further. And if you look at mine, right, if you can look at mine now, oh, I'm 8.6. I don't want to do it there. Right, do you remember what I said about being able to hit a worm in a field?
Yeah.
And I said the reason being you might have a grey truck that's cold and it's the same temperature as a bridge. And you got to bomb that truck. Right? With the other Mavericks, you're not going to be able to get a lock on. Okay? With these Mavericks, you can. So when your Maverick screen is selected and you're moving in, you can literally use your boat switch. You switch your boat switch forward, wait a second, back to middle, and your crosshair on your Maverick will go black. Soon as it's done that, TMS up short and rifle. It doesn't care what the distance is. It will fire that missile. Now, firing a missile from God knows how long away is obviously quite ridiculous to do. But if you're really high, you can extend the range of the missile and it will still hit the target because it's using the height and the gravity. So are you on watching my stream, yeah?
No, I'm turning out again because I got too close.
Alright. Just put yourself in auto. So I'm going to point at the MAV. Right. I know my Maverick's aligned. So on my Maverick screen, it's soy. I'm going to boat switch forward, middle, fire. Forward, middle, TMS up short, rifle. Okay. So I'm 10 mile away. And it's gone. Now, it might not hit the target at the height I'm at, right? But if I was higher, it definitely would. But let's have a look. We'll follow the missile in. So you saw how I didn't wait until something was telling me I could do it, yeah? That's fine. I've got to be careful because, as I said, I've got no autopilot. So I've just got to make sure this carries on flying. Did you see what I did or not?
Yeah.
Okay, now if I'm too low, this won't have the legs, right? But I was at, what did I say, 10 mile? And I fired it. It will allow you to fire it wherever. If you at about, I don't know, anything from about 12, 15,000, you can stretch this out to 12 mile, 11 and a half, 12. But it's going at where it was pointing. So if that was a target that had got no contrast, it should actually go and hit it.
Hold up.
I think my plane's just about to die.
Hold up.
Yeah, it was. Do you get the gist?
Yeah.
Okay, so do you want me to go over it?
No, it's just a back switch. I don't know if I've got a sensor. I know
Is there a boat switch center on the thing? Wrong button. Didn't want to do that, but never mind. Let's okay, there is definitely a center, yeah. Have you got a right alt? Okay, so basically you choose your target. So that was 10 mile out, I fired that, yeah? It's not waiting, you can just fire it normally, but it's not looking for a contrast, it's waiting. It's basically, you can fire it as normal when you go in, but it also allows me to what we call force correlate, which means then that we can just fire it at what we're pointing at. Do you see what I mean? You have to TMS, yes, because once you're force correlated, you TMS up short, it will lock and then you fire. But it hits what your speed's at, what you've got the missile pointed at. So you can try one from here if you want. If you've got your target and you've got your missile slewed, fire one and then fire the next one as we get closer, or you know, a little bit later, and we'll see what happens to them. But I was at 10 mile when I fired it. I think you're a bit closer, but the gist is get to understand it. So boat switch forward, boat switch middle, right? You've got what? Have you got the missile selected? I don't know why, you're really close, aren't you? Pardon? Switch middle, and it'll change to black, and then TMS up short, and then fire. But you're too close anyway to make most of it. Sorry, you would have done it anyway. So just keep flying over the target and pick another one and go to about 15 mile. Yeah, you're way too close. So this will just let you force correlate. Fire at the target that it's locked onto with your speed at whatever distance you want, and you just utilise the height to extend the distance. Yeah, I have no idea why. So you aiming at the... Is there a tank there or something?
That just fell a bit short.
Yeah, so that fell short from 7.5 away. Was it aiming where you just pointed it?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you for the follow.
Because I didn't have a crosshairs, I couldn't really tell what it was aiming at.
Oh, right. And did you TMS up?
Yeah, and it worked.
I don't know what it was aiming at.
Like I say, without
Thanks for your follow.
I didn't know what I was looking at really.
So, yeah, just keep going, but go about 15 mile away. And this is the problem if you're too close when you're trying to do stuff. It doesn't give you enough time, do you know what I mean? It's quite a pain in the ass. So that's where you would use those, and I can't remember which one's night time and which one isn't. What's your height?
Yeah, I'm just pulling for 7,000.
Oh god, yeah. That's not very good. You need to be up. As I said, normally I would be like between 10 to 15, and I think I don't know what I was when I was coming in. I dropped a bit. You just have to watch the clouds on this one, unfortunately. Oh, right, okay. Oh, thank you. Yeah, one of the things I tend to do, especially when I'm like normally streaming and not training, is I try and always explain everything I'm doing, and that way people like yourself, who's just starting, can pick up some various things. I also do training for people as well, and I should be doing some videos. I might actually get round to doing some over this weekend coming up. I'm streaming normally on Saturday. I'll be flying helicopters and things mostly. I'm just going through these with this guy. There's a lot of people with the A10 can fly it and shoot the gun, but that's where it stops. It is quite complex. A few people don't do startups, they just use auto start, which is why I've gone over it. And I'll go over it 6 or 7 times with this person, and then eventually I'll say, right, you've done it 6 or 7 times, now write your own startup. If you use someone else's that's on a bit of paper, you end up looking all the time. It is. Yeah. Yeah. It can be very difficult watching videos. And it's like if you're trying to learn from these sort of streams, it's difficult because there's a lot of talk in between as well. Although this is more focused than a Saturday. Okay, so have you got a target picked?
Yeah.
Okay. Right, how far away are you?
11.4.
Right, okay, on the target. Oh, good. Right, do it from here, right? Boat switch forward. Boat switch middle. You see a cross on the left now, on your left screen. TMS up, short. That's fine. TMS up short, and it should lock. Is it locked or not? Okay, just fire. See if it goes. There you go. Now, I can't see what you're seeing, and I'm not in a plane, so do you know what I mean? But when you do boat switch, it goes black, and then it comes back when you go to middle, if it's right, and then as soon as you TMS up, the cross just joins up in the middle, if you noticed.
Whereas with the keys, it shuts, doesn't it?
Yeah. But effectively, as I said, you would use that for shooting at a target that hasn't got contrast, or if you wanted to extend it. Right, you're going after that vehicle there. That's the one you was after before, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And it dropped short because it wasn't pointing at it. Do you see? But there you go, and that's how you would use that. And you fired it from how far?
7.7.
7.7.
Yeah.
Should have fired it earlier. You don't need to do that unless you're trying to extend it.
Yeah,
Oh, right, yeah.
The crosshairs making me hesitate on what I'm looking at. So
And
yeah.
obviously the supercarrier. Now I'm trying to see the A10 a little better from you, even if you started with the
Okay.
a little while ago.
Just one moment, Wiz. Can you just set up and go and land as normal? If you got any weapons left, just dump them. So I take it it's the A10C. You've got the F18, okay. Is it the A10C II you've got? and the Apache.
Thanks for the tier
Now,
1 subscription, Neolive83.
oh, thank you very much.
Mel said, thank you for the prime sub.
If you-
Neolive83.
What are you flying at the moment? Unfortunately, I haven't flown the F-18 for a long time. What I am doing mostly is A10 plus choppers. What I would say to you is, if the only helicopter you've bought is the Apache and you haven't flown helicopters before in DCS, I would highly recommend getting the Huey. Okay? The Huey will teach you all the fundamentals of helicopters flying in the game. If you can learn the Huey, you've got a very good grounding for all helicopters. However, as you get different helicopters, they all have their own ways of doing things. You can also...
Thank you for the 21 months.
Oh, thank you very much. Thanks for the subscription there. Oh, 23 months. Blimey, that's gone. That is a long time, Biggie. Thank you very much. So basically, what I'm trying to say is, you learn the Huey, right? And it's worth buying. It's $25 in the sale. And then it'll give you a step up to all other helicopters. There is another helicopter I would suggest, but you don't need to buy it. You need to use the free version for 2 weeks and learn how to use the trimming on the Black Shark. And then when you go to the Apache, you'll find that learning the Huey, understand the way the trimmer works, that information will transpose into the Apache, and it'll make your helicopter flying for the Apache much, much better. Now, this guy's coming into land. You should have had everything set up. If you just do a straight divert, I think the rest of it's done, isn't it? Yeah, no worries. But it works really well, and you can go to any airport without knowing it. The only thing you have to watch on corks is check on the knee board for the exact angle. As you can see, this one says 27 for 270, but the airport is 261, the runway is. Do you get my gist? So now we'll be able to have a little look. When Wiz comes in. And lines up with the airport. Is your SPI on the runway? Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I knew what you were doing. You were trying to turn so to get them all in a line. What Wiz is doing is following the method I landed last time by using course deviation. And you don't even have to worry about where the base is. It'll just guide you straight in once you align everything. Also, I'll stream on a Saturday, Neo. So if you come and watch on Saturday, I explain what I'm doing it. I always explain the startup of every module I get into, and I explain what I'm doing, why I'm doing it. So if you've got time, I should be on from about, I don't know, 9 or 10 o'clock Saturday morning till about 2ish, maybe 3ish. But it's quite a bit of wind on here, so you'll see as Wiz comes in. So at 10 mile you should be about 1500 feet, possibly doing about 250. Let's get rid of the and as always, don't try and remember everything that I've just gone over with you. Just have an idea that it's something you can do And then when you need to do it, ask me. You know what I mean? If we're flying or something like that. So you'll see there's quite a strong wind. So the plane is pointing one side, look, but the runway's over there. So you can see the angle. There's a strong wind from left to right. If you look at the smoke over in the distance, if you can see it. I also stream to YouTube as well, so this will be on the YouTube video under live, and it's in 4K, 60 FPS. So the quality is much better at the moment, but that'll change. So doing a nice old crab. Just do a slight adjustment. Ooh. That was a little bit at the end, tiny little bump, but that's fine. As soon as the wheels bit in.
More than the difficulty in the actual driving, it is the weapon systems.
Exactly.
Yeah, I ended up going a bit too low down while I was looking at something else.
The laser ones, yeah, to some extent, it can get confusing with.
Messed up my right wheel.
It can get confusing with the laser codes. If you burst your wheel,
Yeah, I think so.
it looks alright at the moment, but it might be burst to you. You still got your flaps out. Did you only have them half? Oh no, they're on full, that's fine. So you have to tidy your
that's what I was trying to
aircraft
get
up.
sorted out as I was going down.
No, that's fine.
What speed it is that you can actually use them.
Well, I usually come in really slow anyway. But what you've got to watch is, I think they won't come out unless you're going slow.
Yeah. Just need to know what that speed is.
Okay.
Keep looking down to whether they work or not.
Okay, so what we've done today then, which, considering it's only 12:41, that's taken what, nearly 4 hours. I showed you how to rip multiple Mavericks off on the way in, and we do that simply by using mark points, finding a button to move the next waypoint, and cycling through, slewing the Maverick, firing the Maverick. Okay, and I think you've got a pretty good handle on that. But again, don't worry if you forget it when we're flying, just ask. After that, we looked at the cluster bombs, CBU 97 and the 105. We dropped them at default and found out what happens, especially in the wind, how they float away and everything. And so to combat some of that, we used the height of function. And we also found that the CBU 105 was a little bit more accurate because that's guided, okay? So that's, I think it's GPS guided using the wing kit to the speed, whereas the 97 will just get blown around. We then changed the height of function to make the spread tighter, and we also moved it slightly more into the wind so it drops on the area we wanted. We then used AGM 65H's with force correlation to see how we could fire them at a target that didn't have any contrast, which means we wouldn't be able to lock with them on the 65D. And we can also extend the range of them as well by increasing our height. You also again recapped over the startup, and we also landed using the divert feature, so we understand how the course deviation works, the airport pointer and the runway. Is that about it?
Yep.
So if I ask you questions on all of that, then You'll be able to answer, yeah?
Maybe.
No, I'm not going to
Depends
ask.
on which question you ask.
I'm not going to ask. So basically, when we go out next time, we'll look at wind correction.
Yeah.
And we'll see the difference that using wind correction. Now that means we are going to be on the floor a bit longer once we start up. But the fact that it does it and how it does it is really, really clever. Now I'm not sure if wind correction came before the kit on the back of the 105 or not. Because if it's 250 grand for a kit to change one bomb, I would be inclined to use the plane, do you know what I mean? Use the plane to do that correction rather than spending 250 grand a bomb. So I'm not sure what came first, but it's a really good feature. And then we'll take whatever bombs you want, whether you want to do another ripple, whether you want to do a bit more with some of the others or the clusters. Oh no, we're doing clusters anyway.
Get a bit better at the H's.
Yep, no, that's fine. Well, what we'll do is take 6 H's and we'll take some 97s. Okay?
Okay.
And we'll use wind correction and you'll see how it changes and what the results are in combination with changing the height function.
Yeah.
Okay, that'll probably have to be... It might be 2 weeks, it might be a week. I take it you've left then.
I did just leave, yeah.
Okay, right everybody, thank you very much today. It's been a little bit quiet from everybody. Thank you for the subs, it's really appreciated. As I said, it'll either be next Wednesday or the Wednesday after. Next Wednesday will be good, maybe. Yeah. It might be next Wednesday. I think Lisa's back Tuesday. That means I'll get cups of tea while I'm playing.
This is true.
So there might be an advantage. I'll let you know. All right. Yeah. And again, you'll see me come on stream either next Wednesday, it'll be 9 o'clock, or the following Wednesday. And we'll carry on with this sort of training. All the videos will be on YouTube. So if you look at MELL-DCS, MEL DCS, you'll find me on YouTube.
Next time I'll try to get there for the start of the stream.
Yeah, that's fine. The stream's recorded, so you can look at YouTube or you can look at Twitch. The Twitch one will disappear after a few days, probably 12 days. The YouTube will stay there, and eventually I will make some proper videos so that all this is explained in a video with audio tracks without all the interruptions, all right? Anyway, thanks for watching. Let me go and find somebody else who's streaming at the moment. And I'll pass you on. Hopefully some of that was useful for some people. Oh, first stream as an affiliate. I was flying A10C. That's good. Let's check the language. It's in English. Oh, it's one of my viewers. Iowa guy. Excellent. I'll send you over to Iowa guy and hopefully they've been watching as well over the years I've been flying and hopefully learn something too. So I'll send you over in just a few minutes. As soon as the stream is ready. Right, thanks everybody. Thanks for watching, and with a bit of luck, see you next Wednesday or the Wednesday after. Cheers all and goodbye. And the same to everybody on YouTube. Thank you very much for watching. And I'll be doing another stream, probably Saturday, which is my normal one.